Right. Okay, there we go. Now we're unmuted. All right, cool. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, all that good stuff. Welcome, everybody, to Rumors of the Dead, our little Vampire the Masquerade game here. Let's see. Where do we get started? All right, so first off, welcome to Rumors of the Dead. Rumors of the Dead is a V5 campaign set in Los Angeles, loosely based on some of the canons that you know. I mean, we steal stuff from streams here and people there and all those fun things, so you might be aware of some of this stuff. But altogether, it is still our little interpretation of it, so I hope you enjoy the way that we play things. But let me go ahead and give you guys a quick idea of how we do things. So one of the biggest things to me, making the stream more interesting, was to make it very interactive. So we call it Rumors of the Dead because of our rumor system. That rumor allows you to add rumors and evidence to said rumors that allows you to add your own influence into the game. Whatever these rumors you may want to add to the game can be circulating around the kindred, causing them to feel like the world is closing in around them as all these different rumors and evidence swirl around them. And eventually, there's so much evidence that we can't avoid it. The way that works is at every $100 mark that we make through the rumor system, one of those rumors becomes true and it'll become part of our ongoing campaign. So that's just a quick idea how that works. If you want to know anything more about it, head over to our Ko-Fi shop. That's where you'll find all the info that you can about that. And not only does it, support the stream, but it gives you guys the ability to literally write the Chronicle yourself. I am just here to homebrew the rules around that. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, quick recap of where we left off last week. Our kindred had just met up with a new character, Marina, who's recently joined our coterie. Marina being a new fledgling vampire who had been held captive by her sire for some amount of time. Eventually, growing frustrated enough with it, she woke one morning before him and decided to take matters into her own hands. Unfortunately, though, as we learned last week, she didn't necessarily just alleviate the problem, but consumed the problem, and is now dealing with the consequences and ramifications that may hold. Our coterie found her trying to hide the evidence of her dastardly deeds in the cemetery while trying to hide what remained of this individual's body, and took them to the Baron for introductions and a proper start in kindred society, but the Baron placed them under their charge and said that her education is, essentially on them, since they were the ones who find her. But that's just a quick recap of where we're at. We're going to jump right into it. I don't want to waste too much time. I do want to go ahead and give my players the chance to introduce themselves if this is your first time here. This way you know who they are and what they're playing and all those fun things. So Clark, if you want to go ahead and get us started and tell us just a quick bit about yourself and who you're playing.
I'm Clark, and I'm playing the Zamisi from Texas, who a year ago sired his best friend Nubar.
Did you
Samitsi?
just... Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Zamitzi?
Hold on. My bad, La Sombra.
La Sombra. That's it. Yeah, I was about to say. All good. Yeah, cool. All right, so yeah, sired his best friend and brought them up from Texas. All right, so Paul, what about your character? What makes
Hey there,
them
folks.
interesting?
I'm Paul, Goonie Bones over in chat. I am playing Bart, our Nosferatu fixer. He is currently working on paying off a debt boon debt, and that's going swimmingly. So thanks.
Yeah, I almost forgot to mention that part is where we left off last week. After turning in that debt, you guys found a kindred fight club that you guys are currently hanging in the midst of. That's pretty cool. From your debtor. Let's see. All right, cool.
He's a
All
cool
right.
dude, for the
Hey,
most part.
he's
Yeah.
a pretty cool guy, he just may or may not kill you if you don't, eventually pay off your debt. I think he likes to weigh that over your head more than he actually has any intention of doing it, but, it's the
Uh-huh.
threat's still there. That's the fun part. Idle threats, yay! All right, so Jackal, if you want to tell us about your character, the newest addition to our group.
Howdy, I'm Jackal. As he sort of went on a little bit about it. consumed the problem, definitely did, but she is a Toreador who is sort of just learning about themselves and a bit more on what the hell is going on.
You definitely give a new meaning to the phrase "eat the rich." That's for sure. All right. Well, next up, then we have Snowcone. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Jive. I'll be playing Snowcone tonight, the salubri pharmacist who is currently looking for a little bit of trouble.
Looking for a little bit of trouble. When isn't Snowcone looking for trouble? I like it. All right, and last but not least, Numerous with your wonderful Halloween decorations down there.
Yeah, got my pumpkin. I'm Numerousness playing Numar, and came from Texas, sired by Jamal. I can point
Yeah, you
there.
got it. Nailed it.
Got it. Cool. And yeah, now brought into this wonderful city and kind of loving it. Also building trying to build that weapon still.
Trying to build a death ray. Uh, he's, he's collected all the mirrors in town. He's building Archimedes' death ray. And, we'll see how that pans out exactly for sure. Yeah, that's that. And just in case anyone's unaware, that's one of the rumors, is that the Inquisition is currently working on a new, or hunters in general are working on a new weapon to kill kindred with, and they may have stumbled across some of the blueprints to some of the components for it. So trying to assemble what you can, Numar has been tinkering, so to speak. Man, we got a lot of rumors going on nowadays. I like it. That's the way it's supposed to be. If you guys are interested and want to get involved in that, like I said, head over to the Ko-Fi shop. If you look at the very bottom of the tab, actually, it should be a link right there in the goal section. It'll tell you about all the current rumors that we have in play and all the evidence that's been added. There's probably a few of them I'm missing I need to add, but it'll also tell you how to head to the shop, or if you head to the shop, you'll see where you can add rumors and evidence themselves. Get creative with it, guys. You guys can literally control the entire narrative of the game that way. All right, so like I said, after we had visited the Baron last week and introduced Marina to her new Baron and explained to her what the hell a Baron was, you guys made a stop by Ruku. Ruku's little tiki bar that he hangs out. It's a tiki bar / karaoke bar up top. But down in the basement is his private little speakeasy type bar, tiki bar of his own, where he holds throne on his wicker chair at the top of all of the kindred that are, amongst them. But when you guys as Bart introduced the rest of the coterie to Ruku, he announced that he had something special that he'd been working on and wanted them to see it. They took another level down into the sub-basement to find that down where the boiler used to be, it has been moved to the outsides of the wall, clearing the center floor and the pit that it used to sit in as a fighting pit, where he has currently, I believe it was a Nosferatu and a Gangrel that were currently in the middle of fighting that had just kind of wrapped up as we were handling last week's game, and you guys were sitting with Ruku, watching the fights, placing bets, and maybe getting some ideas in some people's case. But yeah,
Well, then
that's
you
where we
mentioned
left
someone
off.
else stepping up, right? Like where it was like a gangly woman who grew claws.
Yeah, I do believe that was a thing. Yeah, at very last, a female had stepped up. She had razor
Katarina.
sharp. What was it?
Katarina, I believe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right on. Look at this guy. He is on it, man. So Katarina had stepped up into the center of the ring and produced ghoulishly long claws and fangs that kind of seem to protrude out. Not quite sure as to whether or not that's Nosferatu or Gangrel or what's going on there, but it was definitely some protean of some sort, right? That is protean, right? Yeah, I think it's protean. I always confuse my disciplines. Either way, she had just stepped up into the ring, and the announcer had kind of asked who would like to challenge this individual. And there was kind of a, pause and wait as people began looking around. Do any of you decide to take that offer? If not, you guys can let it just sit.
would.
Someone else will surely jump in the hole, but I know it was mentioned.
Like, how anxious is Snowcone at getting in the ring here? Because Bart will take this one, but where are you going for it immediately?
I'm looking to everybody to be like, does anyone have a problem with me like just doing this? Because
She'll tear you a new asshole. Like, just kind of looking between the two of you. I'm placing my bets on her if I wasn't like wanting to keep my money tonight.
Yeah.
Well, think of it like this: like, I'm bored. I want to do something fun. Everybody looks like they want to see some fun, so
Do we have
Why
to
not?
patch you up after?
I'm a pharmacist. I'll patch myself up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Eh,
go do this. I
Yeah.
support this decision.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Fun.
Overhearing
with that being
this.
said,
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna let you go.
Oh, just overhearing this, Ruku kind of chuckles behind you. You, I knew you'd get into it. Let's get into this. He says, "Get down there, my boy," and he slaps you on the back real hard, and almost kind of like, as you get bumped out a little bit, and you hear, you see that people start parting their way to allow you to the ring. And as you do, you see kind of like a wry smile as the girl, kind of gives herself a quick look over, wipes a toothy claw across her fist, and smiles as you approach the ring. Several people start looking, trying to size you up, getting ideas like, what's this guy got? Things like that. You definitely hear a lot of murmuring and chattering, people yelling out, hey, I got 20 on the little guy. You know what I mean? I got 20 on the troll doll.
Oh, that's perfect.
As you approach with your rainbow colored hair. 50 on the little one, Gothica says. I like it. But yeah, you start hearing bets called in and things like that.
Well, just with it, is Snowcone actually getting more bets than the other person?
There, you see that there's a handful of people that are betting on him, but the majority seem to be taking the female side.
Alright.
It's one of those things where like the odds would say, which one's going to pay out better, right? Betting on the little guy, you might make more money, but betting on the rather muscular clawed woman, might be your safer bet. So it's really just a matter of which one makes more sense to you at the time. So yeah, you're seeing more.
Best of luck, Snowcone.
Yeah, you're seeing more on that side, but there's a few that are taking that bet. That's for sure. Ruku kind of
is
just
there
sits
a-
back.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I get in a word with this person before the fight starts?
Yeah. You feel like there'll be a moment or two that you have an opportunity. Ruku kind of settles back in his chair, his wicker throne, and kind of smiles and gets ready to watch. You see him, snap his fingers, and immediately drinks are all brought to your table. Nice rocks glasses with something sanguine inside. You know, but you guys are kind of treated with all the comforts since you are there with Ruku himself, and he claims this place is his own little kingdom. The rest of the neighborhood may be Izzy's, but this little actually it's kind of disputed between here and Santa Monica. But anyway, at least in this little basement, he holds domain. So yeah, Snowcone, as you approach, you see the individual that's kind of like cracking their knuckles, like I said, kind of rubbing their chin a little bit, trying to look tough as you approach. And you also see a rather sizable dude that is standing in the middle of the ring, seeming to announce it. He's found like a umpire's jersey somewhere, like that striped shirt. It doesn't really match, but he's wearing it anyway. And as you approach, you know, he kind of takes a look at you. He looks you over, squares you up, kind of pats you down a little bit. No weapons, right?
No weapon.
All right, all right. Well, it's first time here. You know, don't recognize you at least. Rules are simple. Anything goes until the final blow. There's no draining. There's no killing. You fight them till they're unconscious, torpid, whatever. But we try to keep everybody walking away alive. Same for you. When she's done with you, I will make sure to haul you over and prop you up in the corner.
Gotcha.
All right, let's get at it. Introduce yourselves, and that's the moment where you have a second to kind of step up to each other, and then he begins going into a hype man type thing. He's running the ring and trying to get everybody to place more bets, which you feel that Ruku probably has a hand in on. But yeah, as he's doing that, you have a moment to step up and square up with this woman and have a conversation. So she just kind of looks at you and grins. She says, it's nothing personal. Just gotta do what I gotta do. I need a couple
I
bucks.
understand that. Actually, would you like to make a little bit more money?
You think I'm gonna take a dive for you?
Nah. I'd actually think about something a little bit better. More like a trade.
What'd you have in mind?
How about this? I'll pay you $50 if I can get one hit in. Here's how it goes. If I can land one hit on you, I want one vial of your blood. That's it. But if I manage to go down, get knocked out, whatever happens, I'll pay you $50. The way I see it is like this. I lose, you get paid $50 more after you win. If I somehow manage to land a hit on you, you still get paid. But I get a little bit of your blood. How's that sound?
He looks at you real kind of questioning for a second, as to like what your intentions are to do with this blood. How about you give me a bit of a persuasion roll here, to
There's a
see if
couple
you
of
can
clans
talk
that
her
can do
into
some real
this.
funky stuff with it. So.
Yeah, I think that's her primary thought too. Is like, oh man, I've heard people can do shit with your blood. So you can use either charisma or manipulation here if you want, and probably persuasion. You know what I mean? Maybe even intimidation, whatever you kind of want to go with, or subterfuge, depending on how you roll it. That'll determine kind of how she takes it, maybe.
All right, let's try. Submit. Ooh.
Okay. Second here.
It's something.
Oh,
I
Oh.
I forgot to bring up the character sheet for her, so just give me one sec. It'll be a mixture of probably what, wits and awareness, wits investigation, maybe.
Excuse me.
Not her strong suit, but she'll take a roll at it. All right, so you got a messy critical. Interesting.
Was this contested?
Yeah, it's gonna be contested against her. I'm trying to roll now to see what she got. I don't have her character actually entered in here, so I'm just kind of putting in dice. So all right, so D10, and she has a total of 4. So it's gonna be 3 successes on her end, as far as that goes, and you got 4, but in a messy critical. What is your clan's compulsion? So let's see here. Salubri.
Existing.
Effective empathy. Trying to remember exactly what that is. Do you have it on your character sheet?
Yep, got it right here. Active empathy. When a salubri suffers a compulsion, the kindred becomes overwhelmed with empathy the for the personal problem sorry about that. Or empathy for a personal problem that afflicts someone in this scene, seeking to further a resolution. The scale of the personal problem isn't important. The salubri understands that sometimes suffering is part of the cumulative situation and not an isolated stimulus. Any action not taken towards mitigating that personal tragedy incurs a 2 dice penalty. The compulsion persists until the sufferer's burden is eased or a more immediate crisis supersedes it, or at the end of the scene.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So as she's kind of looking at it, and considering it, she says, "I need the money. Got my own interests. Make it 100, and you got a deal."
Done.
She kind of gives you a look like she's surprised that you so quickly bumped up. You know what I mean? But I'll say that the interest that you are going to take in this situation is going to be, based on her need for money, right? So obviously there's some sort of conflict going on here in which she's willing to risk her blood in exchange for this fight. So the empathy that you're going to experience is, this person's lack of funding, so to speak, they're obviously dealing with some sort of hardship that they're willing to take a risk like that. I think that'll be your interest. So the way it works typically is like a 2 dice penalty, I think, something like that. You get a 2 dice penalty until you resolve that issue. Is that the way yours works? Sorry, I missed that last
Well, it's
bit.
mostly taking actions to help resolve it. So I guess this fight, at least, could be argued as not like, well, it is kind of going towards that goal. It's going to have an end point of
Right, but that's
something relating to that goal. But
right. It's relative, but personally, I think that actually fighting her might be in direct opposition. So if you're
I
if your plan is to win, you know what I mean, then of course,
If his
yeah, if your
plan is
plan's
get
to
the
win,
one
that would
hit-
be contradictory.
if
But
his
if your
plan is to
plan,
get the one hit in so he can give her extra money, that wouldn't be though.
right, exactly. So that's the real question. You know what I mean? Do you plan on actually winning this fight? Or is this just something that you're trying to hold in as long as you can? So we'll start out by saying that there's a penalty until we see whether or not, where this fight is kind of leading towards. And then this will make it more of a role play based conversation instead of just a combat, right? This gives you guys opportunity to talk a little bit during the actual fight. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, as long as you are actively trying to win this fight, then you might suffer that penalty at least until the situation changes otherwise. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, you know what I mean? I don't want to make it a full-on knockdown, drag-out fight. So how about we go with 3 rounds and out? The kind of general rule that we're going to take we're going to make 3 rolls, and if there's a clear winner after those 3 rolls, like best 2 out of 3 essentially, then that will resolve who's actually going to win this fight. But as long as you can get at least 1 lick in there, you know that you'll be getting what you need out of it. She'll be getting some money out of the deal, possibly. All right, cool. Let's step up into it then. I don't have like an actual map for this or anything, so we're just going to go ahead and discuss it. So about that time, the announcer turns back around. He grabs each of your hands and locks them in against each other, more or less like in a handshake or a clasp. And he says, "All right, you guys know the rules. Keep it reasonably clean. No weapons, only what you have in your own capabilities. Only what your blood allows. Other than that, anything goes. When a person goes down for the final time, no, the fight's over. We step away. Any arguments with that?" She kind of just nods her head, in approval. He takes a look at you, Snowcone.
No problems here.
All right. Well, let's let the blood fly then, shall we? All right, let's go. And he just immediately takes a step back. At that point, she lets go of your hand and immediately also takes a step back in almost kind of a defensive, like trying to find her stance and grab her footing underneath herself, and is sizing you up. How do you plan to handle this first round? What is it that you're going for?
I think since she like, you always have to keep your eyes on your opponent. That's like the general rule when it comes to a fight. My plan is to take advantage of that using one of my abilities to like make her like not hit as hard.
Okay, so you're specifically looking to try and oh, what is that? There's that certain fighting style, I can't remember what it is, but you're looking to be more on the defensive side, where when she comes in with a blow, you'll step back with the blow, etc. You know what I mean, to reduce the actual physical damage of it. Kind of going with man, I know there's a name for that. Is that like capoeira? That's the dancing thing, right? But it's more like a defensive style. All right, so yeah, let's see.
Like he's just trying to use dominate, though, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
What's the ability?
Yeah, because I can
What?
use compel to like. This is what I'm hoping that compel does in this situation. I'm hoping that
okay.
compel does is like at least allow me to say like hold back a bit, and then she pulls her punches so that way, like if I do get hit,
Okay.
then I'm not gonna get sent flying through a glass window when she knocks me 30 feet through a skylight.
Right. Okay. So I understand.
Ye-
You're actually trying to do this with a little bit of mental manipulation. That's a little different. Okay. Um, in that case, let me go ahead and take a look at your character sheet here. This is
'Cause
kind
I
of
was
going to
gonna-
be. Oh, good.
Yeah, because I was gonna say my backup plan was to use premonition to like hopefully like if she hits me, then use premonition, and it's like okay, predict the next move and then dodge out of that.
All right. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, you got a couple of options. Yeah, that's for sure. And even your premonition ability may give you some insight into exactly how she moves and how she attacks too. Um, so you're going to start off with more or less trying to compel, was what I understood, right? Like that's your initial stance, is to more or less compel her to take it a little easier on you. Was that
Yeah,
okay? In that case, let's make this a roll then. Let's see, charisma and dominate versus intelligence and resolve. So yeah, if you want to roll your charisma and dominate, I will do her intelligence and resolve. This is definitely a good one for her, or good one for you, less for her. Her intelligence isn't super high.
okay.
All right,
Let's roll some boons.
6 dice for her.
Oh, I gotta ask the difficulty for this, right?
Just put in whatever, leave it blank or leave it at the 2, whatever. But this is going to be a directly opposed roll. Holy
Okay.
shit! She actually rolled 4 successes too.
Damn!
What did you put these
Holy
for?
shit!
Another messy critical. Man, you're getting really good at these tonight. You're hungry. I didn't realize you were that hungry.
This is 2.
Yeah, it's just, oh, okay, that's right. I saw that third red one there, and I don't know why. I just immediately thought hunger. Yeah, that's right. That's just the way it reads it. Okay. Cool. And sorry, I'll stop fucking with your character sheet now. Let me get out of that. I realized I was clicking buttons. Anyway, okay, so you have 6 successes. Taking a look at her and kind of just empathetically, the salubri empathy that comes in. That third eye opens, and even though she can't see it hidden underneath of that hair, it kind of starts to put out a feeling of meekness or weakness in a way, to where she starts to impulsively underestimate you. As she's looking at you, she kind of, she goes in for that first hit where she would normally just come in with a crippling blow and try to resolve this right off the bat, but looking at you, she feels bad. She takes on this like feeling of, I just don't want to break this guy so easily. You know what I mean? He's trying to offer me some money, he's worked with me, etc. And when she comes in for that first blow, she does connect with you. But as you said, it is far reduced compared to what it typically would be. Um, she almost just like grazes your chin a little bit. You know what I mean? As far as that goes, she feels like she has to pull the punch, and it seems to be pretty easy on you. No damage is inflicted. Actually, you would have won this one. So yeah, so she does a little. I mean, don't get me wrong, she hits you, but it is definitely not to her fullest capability. She's definitely pulling her punches on this one, and taking it easy on you. But it does give you a moment where she connects with you for that next round if you wanted to use your premonition. So yeah, she comes in, she makes a couple of quick jabs, you know what I mean? Single, like, body shot or two, but she's not using her claws, she's not going into fangs, she doesn't seem to be using any current disciplines, any of those things. So at this point, you're holding toe to toe with her. And you hear the crowd kind of shift. Those of you that are sitting with Ruku actually hear a bit of like booing a little bit, as if, come on, what the hell? Oh, dude, what's she doing? Oh, dude, eat this guy. Fuck. You hear a lot of excitement, people that have placed bets on her that are now getting frustrated seeing her not performing at her peak performance. But you see her start to shake it off. Now, as far as your messy critical goes, I don't want to spend too much time on it. But let's see. I think this is where your animalistic characteristics come in. I don't think we've ever seen, or not more animalistic, but the beast starts to rise up inside of you a little bit, and you're feeling that. Say, how do I want to say this? Like you can feel the course of blood. Your blood doesn't actually pump, but now it is. You know what I mean? You're starting to get that blushed feeling. You're getting hot. The anger is starting to come in there, and I think again you're kind of compulsed with, or you're losing your composure that you typically have, and you're starting to feel like actual anger as she's hitting you. You know what I mean? It's starting to rouse that blood a little bit, and in response, your beast kicks in and starts to whisper in your ear a little bit. I'm not actually going to do I've decided at the beginning of the campaign, I'm not actually going to give it a voice, but you would almost hear a whisper in your ear just telling you, come on, eat her. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and take a little bite. So raise your hunger by 1 is what I'm getting at here. I don't know why it took me so long to say that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just call it a raised hunger on this one. As your blood starts pumping and coursing, it does actually rouse the beast inside you enough to increase your hunger. Now for second round, you see her start to shake that off. Looking around, she sees the people booing and jeering at her and is now frustrated. You can see her shake her head a little bit and take a look of just real angry, emotion. And the claws you see almost extend a little bit. There's a little darkness that starts to seep in around, and she is going to come at you with full force this time. But what is it that you want to do in retaliation?
I would like to use premonition to dodge her next volley of attacks.
Okay, so first off, I'm going to need you to rouse the blood for your premonition. We're going to see how hungry we'd make you in one round.
Does Snowcone have a corner man ask group beside me?
I doesn't, unless one of you stepped up. He does not.
So since he's about to get wrecked, I guess I'll go fourth.
All right.
Success.
Nice. You succeed, so you don't get any hungrier. All right. So your actual premonition roll is resolve plus auspex. She is going to go in a very feral way, but since you're going to, let's go ahead and roll your resolve and auspex. Let's see how many successes you get in this first off, and I'll kind of use that to dictate. But she's just going to come at you with a full-fledged attack, tooth and claw, as far as that goes.
All right. And roll some bones.
This doesn't actually have. So this would be strength and brawl for her. Okay, so 3 successes. All right, dude. That's a good roll, though. 3 successes on 3 dice. Let's see. So typically she would be going in with strength and brawl on this one, which is a much better roll for her. She'd be rolling a lot of dice. But instead, because of the fact that you're using your premonition, I'm going to give her a bit of a penalty to it. So instead of rolling 8 dice, she is going to roll 6. Let's see, 1, 2 successes, really? Oh shit. So it works, as far as that goes. Let me see, real quick before we explain how this round kind of resolves. You guys that were sitting in the, what do you want to call it? The VIP section, a slightly raised platform that's been set up for Ruku to keep a better look on things. What conversations are taking place while you guys are there? Obviously, Bart, you're going to get frustrated enough or feel compelled enough to make your way
It's just
down
I
and
saw
play.
the anger in her eyes, and there's one of those, oh no, my boy's going to get wrecked.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, let's step back and see what kind of you guys are doing while this is taking place. Ruku is actually, he taps one of you on the shoulder. He just, whoever's to his left, it's probably actually like Numar, just whoever's sitting on his left side, he starts like tapping you on the leg like, hey, your boy's doing all right. Look at him go. Oh, why is she taking it so easy on him? Well, he's doing the hoodoo, isn't he? I know it.
Yeah, you see, his problem is he's just standing there getting punched and not punching back.
He said, yeah, okay, he is doing a bit of that. I gotta give you credit for that one. He kind of just smiles and chuckles with you. By the way, the person that's walking around, as I said, Ruku's kind of, hired loosely garmented women to kind of walk around with buckets and collect bets. Does anybody else place any wagers or anything on this fight? As the lady comes around, she stops and kind of takes a step half onto the platform where you guys are sitting, takes a knee, and holds out the bucket. Any wagers? Anybody want in on this one?
I'd assume this happened before the fight started. I put 500 on the other guy.
Oh shit. Okay, put 500 on her. Interesting.
Before the fight
Think
started.
about it for a long while.
Okay.
And be like,
Yeah. That's fine. So
Snowcone
yeah,
basically said he was supposed to throw the fight.
he definitely did. As far as that goes. So yeah, she takes the bet. Smart move. She kind of looks at good choice, and puts the ticket. Like I said, she's kind of banding all the money with a ticket. Gives you a slip of paper that essentially is your voucher for the bet. But yeah, as the rest of you guys are standing there, of course, Bart, you see at some point stands up, takes ringside. What is it that you actually do when you get ringside there, Bart?
I'm more just there to like have someone there to drag him out and stuff, and I don't know. It was a
We're
bit
mostly just
uppity.
here to pick
I
up the
don't know.
body.
Yeah, and like my dude, he can't exactly coach that well to Snow Cone, but maybe he's like, once it's getting into this like third act of it all, we'll try finding a way to get a jab in for him, like try calling a shot. But yeah, at
All
least
right.
could I analyze the fight at all for my
Yeah.
dude? Give him some
Yeah.
assistance.
So now that especially being down here, you're kind of surprised because again, even though he's not retaliating, he's not coming in as aggressive as she is, he does seem to be sidestepping all of her attacks. You know what I mean? She's coming in very aggressively, very hot. She's, hot-tempered and angered, coming in with a kind of like a rage-filled, mentality, and he is staying very calm, collective, and almost just seems to take the couple of blows that he gets, but then immediately around, the end of that first kind of section, you see him start doing even better at just he's preemptively taking and dodging her attacks.
Yeah, that's some
So
Naruto shit. Love it.
yeah, a little bit. So that's you start to get the excitement, you know what I mean? You can feel the tension in the room as people are getting, amped up, either frustrated because they're watching their favored fighter lose, or the opposite where, you're seeing this person come in and just like sidestep all the attacks. So but either way, they're still getting into the fight. All right, so Snowcone, technically you've won 2 out of the 3 of these matches already. But as she comes in for this third one, she is going to try and switch up her style at the last second, noticing that you're dodging her attacks, and tries to switch to a more feral approach, which initially she was going in with like a boxer stance. She had a proper form. She was doing everything the way she was supposed to. And at this point, she just lets loose, and you can see the rage fill in her eyes. And she is going to come in a very animalistic way. You actually see that her eyes flash over for a moment with like a flash of red and yellow, almost like striations that kind of spread through her eyes. And all of a sudden, she comes in with just claw after claw after claw, trying to rake in with as much as she can. So how do you want to handle this third round? She is coming in super hot, super aggressive, and you've already got your premonition, so that's going to give her a penalty, essentially on the attack itself. But she's going to try and do everything she can to at least try and bring this to a close, so to speak.
I want to see, since she's in a feral state and with premonition, I want to see if I can almost make her hit herself.
Okay. Let's see. How does this work?
Because if I can get like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you by making you hit yourself. You didn't think of that, did you? Ha.
Right. More exhausting herself, overwhelming herself with the attacks, and then more or less just falling on her face. So, I think that is going to be a mix of maybe wits and composure. You know what I mean? I know it's a little bit of a weird one, but this way you're staying composed, you're using your intelligence to try and overwhelm her, and again, she is coming in with full force. In this case, I don't in a 3 rounds now, you don't really spend, you don't like rouse blood or anything. So it's going to be the same 6 dice roll that she's coming
You
in,
don't?
which is strength and brawl. I mean, I guess
Like,
you
why
can.
can't you?
I mean, you
If I
can.
think you do it at the start, but
Right. I just don't feel like I want to do it for her,
Oh.
really. But like she's hot enough to where she could. Trying to see. Protean gives her the ability to turn her hands more lethal, but it
like
doesn't actually seem
damage.
to.
Well,
Yeah,
it
that's
also prevents the halving of the superficial damage, or like halving of the damage that typically gets done.
That's true too.
So
Yeah.
hits are coming in more brutally, in theory.
Right. Yeah. That's what they'll say.
So can
But
Bart still
what
offer
I
some
was
type
looking.
of verbal assistance here? Like,
Yeah,
just
absolutely. That's yeah. Let me know
doing
what you're doing.
best ringside coach, which isn't great. It's inexperienced. It's street fighting is basically his background. And like
Stay low.
various
Watch
things
the
that
left.
happened during a mechanic's break.
Right. Stay low. Watch the left. Duck. You definitely hear the muffled yells of Bart coming through the helmet.
Yeah, it doesn't take that off. So.
Right. You
Not
might
now.
have to peek the visor to get a better look.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But yeah, so
that's
she,
a
like I
fun
said, she's
milligram.
going to come in with strength and brawl, just like she did last time. Again, like I said, it really doesn't help. The Protean doesn't actually give her more dice, so she's still rolling 6 dice because you have her at a bit of an advantage. But yeah, let's just go ahead and roll it up. So she's going to roll her 6.
I think at this point, whatchamacallit, Mary actually would have got up, sort of, finally letting off some of that wall and is sort of actually cheering.
Nice. Actually getting a little into it,
Yeah.
I think this is the first time Marina might have had an actual amount of fun in a little while. You know what I mean? As you guys that are standing there taking a look at her, you see the little bit of excitement, as this kind of testosterone driven, excitement starts to build, she actually stands
Testosterone?
up. Not for her, but I meant within the crowd, you know what I mean? The general vibe of
That's
just
me being
like
the fighter.
people amped up.
She can
Yeah.
have testosterone.
Right. Yeah. Either way, you get what
Whatever.
I'm saying. You see people are getting excited. How about adrenaline fueled? Is that
Yeah, that's a
better?
bit better.
There you go.
No, testosterone. I insist.
And I insist. Right. But yeah, no, I think, so you guys have only known her for a very little while, but at least knowing her story, I think it would stand out that you would notice that she's visibly kind of getting excitable, as she takes, this fight, as probably one of the first things she's had in a long while that's been just for pure entertainment. So anyway,
Just noticed
Snowcone,
you're getting a mustache.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Um, so again, for your final roll, you said you're going to try and use that against her. This will be wits plus resolve. She only got 2 successes on this last one.
Plus another die. Well, Kevin
Yes.
allows.
What is it?
Just another die for my assistant.
Oh yeah. You can take an extra dice from
Thank
the
you.
ringside coach. I feel like that's fair.
So +1.
Yeah, so you get the
hits.
-1 +1, or what is it, -2 +1 type deal. Let's say there's a lot going on here.
Oh, that's been real.
Four successes. Oh shit. Luckily, not another messy critical for you, but yeah, almost was. Right on, man. So again, she comes in just ferociously, and you can tell that this is something that typically works for her. In response, people come in, and it's a fight. You know what I mean? So the fact that you're just more or less calmly standing there, almost damn near hands behind your back, bobbing and weaving as she does it, she is wearing herself out. You know what I mean? There's no heavy breathing because she doesn't breathe, but you can just see the blood that she has been exerting to try and make this fight happen for her is just depleting. And at the last moment, you see your moment of opportunity. She's weak, she's calm, she's weak, she is exhausted and trying her best, and you see that moment of opportunity to strike, and you can take her down if you want to. The real question is, given the opportunity to make that blow to where you could actually put her down, do you take it?
Thinking about this of like, as Snowcone, it would be like, I know she needs this money. She needs this money in order to like help herself. But looking around at the crowd, looking around at the situation it's in, thinking about it more logistically, it's like throwing this fight and like allowing like Snowcone to just be like, okay, just hit me. That's not being respectful towards her in the grand scheme of things. And on top
Right.
of it, that's going to make her reputation sink even more because people thinking of this as like, oh, and then they took a dive in the last round. It's like, okay, so this was a fixed fight. So why do I have to trust this place for any money? This is rigged. So I'm not going to bet here anymore. With all that being said, Snowcone is going to be like, I can't fake this. I have to make this look good. So I'm gonna commit.
Right. You take the shot. How is it that you actually do it, by the way? Do you just go in with like a bare knuckle brawl? Do you come in with any sort of like tooth and bang or any of that stuff? You know what I mean? Or do you just,
I would imagine Snowcone is like seeing her run at her like, like almost like, ah. So Snowcone would go for the kind of like almost throw her in a way of like use her momentum and then like flip her and then throw her. So that way it's like less work for him. And it's also like, I told you, it's like, it's literally just reversal. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm kind of drawing a blank.
Fits the style.
Right. Yeah, no,
it's like
so
a judo throw. That's what I was meant to say. It's like a judo throw. It's like over the shoulder.
That's exactly it too. And as she comes at you, barreled in that one last time, and you can tell she's just, like I said, there's no heavy breathing, of course, or anything, but you can tell just a level of exhaustion of the blood that she has put everything into this, and just it's all been wasted. Any of you guys that have ever been in a fight know it actually hurts just as bad to miss a punch as it does to actually connect with it. You know what I mean? Because you're overextending, you're hyperextending yourself, and just nothing is being landed. And she's wore herself out. And as she comes in with that last one, you just actually take the moment of opportunity, grab her, and with a single overhand throw, slam her down on her back, and you hear a crack of her spine hitting the concrete. You probably didn't break it, but you've definitely, dislocated a few, what do you call it, vertebrae in her spine as she comes down just flat and hard on this concrete with her whole weight, and she stays down. You know what I mean? She goes to get back up, and you hear that pop again, and she just gives up, and like the whole crowd goes silent and then erupts as they're like, holy shit, did you see that? You know what I mean? And you hear her down there on the ground just kind of whining out in a long moan. But yeah, you see tickets getting tore up, people throwing them down and cussing, while others are like, holy shit, dude, I just hit the jackpot. You know what I mean? The ring girls are trying to like, okay, hold on a second. We got to count the money. You know what I mean? Trying to push everybody off. And your buddy Ruku just looks over again to Unimar, since you're the guy he's kind of had his chumminess with. And he's just like, hey, your man knows how to get it done. He said, I honestly thought the guy was just going to stand there and let her kill him. But hey, you never know. Man, I lost myself some money on this one, and kind of chuckles to himself and just laughs. He seems to be really pleased with the outcome of this fight. And you definitely hear the announcer kind of, putting up a hand as you see Snowcone in the middle of the ring. Please continue, Nimar. Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah. See, all you had to do was punch him. That's the answer.
Apparently so, man. Apparently so. He just kind of laughs it off. But yeah, you see at some point she does, a couple of people come into the ringside and assist her. Bart, you are right there ringside, standing by Snowcone. But you see
I
a
wasn't
couple of
expecting to see him standing at the end of this, so I'm just kind of there in stunned silence, maybe offer a fist for a fist bump, but like, shit, dude.
you watch this.
I go for a fist bump, and they say, "Call me the harm assist."
Sure, dude.
Are you
Sure.
sure you're not a chiropractor?
You definitely hear a come on, Somebody's just like, no, bad pun, I'm walking away. You know what I mean? But two people definitely are picking her up, and you see her kind of held over and hobbling. But she says, no, get off me. And once she's on her feet, she straightens herself up. Again, you hear the popping of vertebrae. As you can tell, she's not okay. But she does hobble her way over to you at the end of the fight. I don't know how the hell you did that, but I want my opportunity back next time. I'll remember you. Where do you want it? And she just kind of looks at you and puts out, extends a wrist or an arm to you as she kind of holds out her arm for you to take blood.
Yeah. I'll just take her wrist, and I'm searching around for a bring. I was like, aha, and I pull out like an empty syringe, and I just take like just enough. Like, I'm not gonna be like an asshole and just be like, and then I take another one, and then I take another one, and then I take another one. It's just like
a comical size syringe.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, hold still, and then
yeah, right. But yeah, no. You see, people are kind of staring in an odd, sense, like what the hell is this
Uh,
all about? But yeah, no. You pull out a vial, like I assume you just carry this shit on you. You know what I mean? We've discussed before. You have a thing for blood and drugs, so yeah. You pop a vein essentially, tap a main line, and as she wills it, you know what I mean. You see that your little vial begins filling up. Um, and she says, "Well done.
Yeah.
I, I
And hey,
want I
if you
want a
ever
chance for
need,
payback."
you'll get it. And trust me, I look forward to it. So until then, if you need anything for pain meds, I give her my business card. Come hit me up.
Yeah, thanks. She just kind of smiles and tucks it into a shirt pocket or something like that. I guess a pants pocket. Um, as she smiles and steps away. Again, this and now as she turns and walks away, she's like, "All right, yeah, fucking carry me, okay? Where's the two guys that were helping me out? I've done the thing. Now help me get the hell out of here." As two people, grab her and kind of assist her a little bit and limp her away to the loser's booth, essentially. But yeah, no. As you make your way back to Ruku's location, assuming that's where you're headed, you see that he actually stands up, kind of gives you a little bit of an applause. Hey, I did not see that one coming. I gotta tell you, man, you just cost me a handful of money, but it was worth it to see her taken down. He said, "Man, she dominated last week. I thought she was gonna be, the next big thing, but you might be
I
my
thought this was the
guy."
first one.
No, I'd mentioned that he said he had done it one other time. Yeah,
Okay.
he had done it 1 week previously. Just like he's like, "Oh yeah, I started this last week, if I remember correctly, last
Fun,
time."
fun.
Yeah, but he says, "Hey, you got any interest in becoming a fighter? I'm looking to sort of promote, and we could work something out. I'm sure. Your buddy here will tell you I'm really good with money. I can make things appear. I can get you items. I can get you stuff if you want to make a little deal. I could always use a good fighter."
Though there was talk of payout, right, beyond this? Like, for him, or for the winner?
Oh
Or
yeah,
is that
well,
just based off of bets?
yeah, anyone that bet on it, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, people fight at their own risk. You know what I mean? You gotta place your own wager. That's not for me to pay out. But now, if you were under my service, if I would, maybe manage and kind of help promote you a little bit. Now, then we could talk about maybe getting you some real stuff. You like cars, you like girls, you like money, whatever you're into. Hey, blood, I got buckets of it." You know what I mean? He said, "You just let me know. We can work something out." But I'm looking for a fighter. What do you say?
I'll keep this to a business transaction, but thanks for the offer. I'll have to decline though.
Well, can't blame a guy for shooting a shot, right? Either way, you did good. Come on up, grab a drink. You look thirsty. And kind of just, points towards the table where you see an array of glasses all filled with something red and thick. But yeah, you guys have a moment to kind of discuss amongst yourself. You see that two more individuals, jump into the ring. This time, two just hulking men that seem to be going at it. As they step in and start clashing with each other, and these guys seem to both be more stand-up fighter types. After the last fight, there's a lot of you can hear the heavy blows. It sounds just like Rocky punching the slab of beef. You know what I mean? As these two go at it, but you're left there with Ruku to discuss whatever you guys want to. Um, yeah, this is where you guys can take over.
So, Snowcone, you sure you're not a chiropractor?
Nice.
Oh no. That was I took up some self-defense class on behalf of my sire. They some backstory. Salubri were notorious for being preyed upon, so they wanted to make sure that if that situation ever arrived, that I could defend myself, even if I were, out of options.
Fair enough. My dad just taught me
Really
guns.
bad chiropractor.
I don't know what type of self-defense classes those are, but they paid off. I'll tell you what, whoever that teacher was, you should have paid him more.
I guess.
Either way, you guys kind of, have your time there. You can stay as long as you choose, but otherwise, if you decide to stay, there's a couple more fights that are scheduled. He would, tell you, yeah, we got like 4 or 5 more, rounds that are supposed to go on. It's been something that he's been using to make a little bit of extra cash on the side, mostly in selling blood while, during the events, things like that. Luckily, your drinks have all been provided as sitting with him. He's in a pretty good mood after having all the money collected that you brought back. But yeah, do you guys hang out for a while? Do you continue chilling with this dude, or do you try to quickly make an exit? Any of that stuff? That's up to you guys.
Well, what do we need to do?
I feel like we accomplished everything we were supposed to do here. Do you guys want to do more?
Now, I'll just chill here for 10, 15 minutes and then head out to whatever else we want to do for the evening. Or what time is it again within the clock?
I'd say it's probably like halfway through the night, because if I remember correctly, you guys had just started your night when you encountered Marina, in the graveyard. At that point, you went back to her place. You went and saw the Baron, and then you've come here. So yeah, it's probably like 2/3 of the way through the night at very least. It's probably 2-3 a.m. So you got a couple of hours left before sunrise. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I think if whenever we want to contact that lawyer person that we need
Or-
to.
For these talks, though, I wouldn't mind actually exiting.
yeah.
Because I don't feel like having him listen in on
Well,
party planning. If we can,
Well,
like,
no.
Bart will
fuck
try
it,
being subtle about it, but
Yeah, I was say. Oh, she was gonna say what she was gonna say. Like, well, before we need to contact this person, we probably should send a message.
oh yeah, be good.
That's fair enough.
Can you believe it? Huko offers free Wi-Fi here. It totally isn't monitored.
It's
Oh, totally not.
monitored. Nice.
I'm not getting a signal here.
I'm just glad that we got
strange.
drinks here. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, are you just like downing a few of them to recover your health?
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to
Yes.
say that's a good question. First off, if anyone is hungry, you can remove at least 2 dots. As far as what he is willing to provide, any more than that, he'll start charging you. But yeah, you can remove up to 2 dots if you have the hunger. But yeah, you have a few moments. Again, on your way out, Bart, he kind of offers to shake a hand, and as you grab it, he kind of pulls you into that big bear hug. His size and form just kind of slapping you on the back. With that big buddy guy type, hey buddy guy, type mentality. He
Like,
says,
Bart's
hey.
able to lean into a little bit, but he's also awkward through it.
He says, hey, I know we got our stuff, you got a little bit to work off, whatever, but, you did good tonight, buddy. I tell you what, anytime you want to come back, you come on in. I want to get you in the ring one of these nights,
It was quite cool, yeah. And I'm done fight, give a little flexor.
Yeah, I'll try not to get you eaten. All right. Anyway, you guys get out of here. You be good. But hey, if you guys need anything, you know where to come. I can take care of any problems that you need. I'm always willing to make a couple of trades and whatever it is that you need. And just offers his services. Bart, you knowing a lot more about what those services might entail. That he's very fond of boons and trades and any situation in which he can find somebody indebted to him. But
Competent yet questionable.
Right, yeah, he can get you the thing, but it's going to cost you a lot more than what you typically want to pay. But he does, kind of, make his formal announcement of it as you guys, right before you guys head out the door. But yeah, stepping out into the night air, you guys are left to your conversations, left to wherever you guys want to head. Like I said, it is like 3 in the morning. So it's starting to get, closer to daybreak, but, you still have a couple hours of night to remain as you're stepping out into the cool night air, and left to your own devices. So it's up to you where you guys want to go.
Go ahead.
I coughed. You're good.
Um, no, I I don't really know of anything else I could do out here. All of you surely know, very new to all this.
Did you have any hobbies that you pursued in mortal life that you want to make sure to pick back up?
Painting.
Cool.
Painting was fun.
Like, I'm guessing the shops are a little bit closed right now, but certainly tomorrow when we get up is a time that
That
can
or
be taken care of.
I could bug Tara about it if I need be.
Oh, that too, yeah. You have a roommate.
One that can walk in the daylight. So just out of
Just
curiosity,
walked in.
that's also true. Marina, just out of curiosity, so when you met Anton Petrov, the person who sired and held you more or less prisoner, claiming that it wasn't safe. But anyway, when you met him, the way that he was able to so easily lure you in was by promises of helping make all your dreams come true. What dream was that you had conveyed to him? You said you liked art. Was that your thing?
Yeah.
Did you want to be a movie star, a musician? Because he would have made you a lot of promises.
Yeah.
But I'm curious as to what it was that he thought that was.
I think at that point in particular, it was just to be known. Well, it wasn't anything in particular at that point.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely would have made offers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Art, music, the industry. Come on. I got connections. He made you all the offers in the world. So as far as that goes, if it was just about being known, I don't think that there would have been anything set up. But like you mentioned art, so I was just gonna say, like, if you'd have mentioned that you were trying to be an artist, he probably would have set up an entire area for you in your cage. You know what I mean, more or less, for you to do so. But yeah, if you didn't have anything mentioned, yeah, it's a new opportunity for you to remodel and rewrite your life the way you want it. You know what I mean? Not the way that he had planned it for you after being turned. So yeah, but you guys got a couple of hours. What is it that where is it that you decide to head next? Or do you just call it for a night and turn in
It's been
early?
a long night. We can call a night.
Yeah,
I would probably do like a little bit of a loop around our territory, just checking things out some. I can do that
Okay.
independently on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
I can
You
go
wanna
for a
go-
walk of that.
Neighborhood watch check.
Actually,
the only thing I can think of is like Tara's stalker. If we're doing like a walk around town, that would be the thing to look out for.
Or also a place to check out is just making sure that Marina's like penthouse is being watched in any way from the outside much or at all.
besides the Barons.
Yeah, now the Baron, she probably has like a telescope just directed.
Yeah, you guys definitely have maybe not made enemies, but realized that there might be more enemies surrounding you than you had originally realized.
Yeah.
For
I
sure. Oh, go ahead.
I think was it she would go back to the apartment and mostly if Tara's still awake, try to whatchamacallit, apologize for earlier.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. In that case, so you make your way back to the penthouse. Well, actually, so you guys were all riding together,
Yeah.
or yeah.
No,
So
he just said he was on his bike.
you
Well,
guys
no,
were
we were driving past our like place,
Okay.
probably back to the Barons. Could have dropped me off reasonably.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So you guys all load up into the van, make your way back through your area where Snowcone, or sorry, Bart is let off at his garage to grab his own motorcycle, do what he needs to do. You guys make a wrap around by the penthouse where Marina is known to stay, as far as that goes. And as you guys approach, you would realize as you're dropping Marina off. Actually, I tell you what, everybody go ahead and give me, well, everybody but Bart, give me a wits and awareness roll.
Difficulty 2.
Yeah, that's fine. I hate that it asks you for a difficulty, honestly. Like most time
That's
it's
the
just,
only way to know if you get the criticals or not.
yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it. I will say a lot of times I just take a look at it as like, the higher you roll, the more you learn, right? And at least in like wits awareness type situations. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right.
Though with Snowcone, he's lost his compulsion, right?
Yeah, I'd say by this point it probably lingered for a little while, you know what I mean? But eventually knowing that you may not have, helped her financial needs, but at very least you did maintain her credibility. You know what I mean? She had to lose a fight, but she didn't lose it without, in such a way that made her look bad. So I think that's enough for you to eventually shrug it off, even though it may not have been exactly the way you wanted it done. But so yeah, you're good on that. Let's see. So Jamal 4, Marina 3, Numar 3, and Snowcone 2. So yeah, I think all of you guys would probably notice, of course, Numerous, Jackal, and probably even Clark. You'd be the first to notice it. You've gotten really good at keeping an eye out for suspicious people sitting in cars, as we saw by your interaction with the police officer previously. As you come back near that area, you do realize that there is a person more or less sitting in a car directly across from the penthouse. And as you catch sight of them and toss a glance their way, they actually look at you directly, like eye to eye from across the street. And he just kind of nods, gives you a look like, I got my eyes out. And you would probably get the assumption that this is one of the Baron's individuals that are keeping an eye on the penthouse. And then he goes back to sitting in his car. You see him like reach over, turn up the stereo a little bit, and stares up at the penthouse. But yeah, you guys drop off Marina. Does anybody go in with her, or do you guys just drop her off and peace out, head back to your place?
There was like a hand signal we're supposed to use with them to see if they were part of the Baron. I
Right,
can't remember it, so I'd probably just make something up.
You see him kind of almost chuckle at that. Yeah, I forgot. I did mention that they kind of had, a bit of a hand symbol. It's probably just like teeth. I don't know. You know what I mean? He does the teeth thing from Monty Python, just like big ferocious teeth. But yeah, you do the hand symbol. You're like doing like butterflies and shit. He's just like, I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Eventually it's aware. I just saw you an hour ago, man. But yeah, you have a moment. There's a moment of confusion, but eventually it is settled. But yeah. Do you guys go in with Marina or just kind of drop her off? Is I guess the real question.
We'll walk her up.
Okay. Walking her up. And well, walking in, taking the elevator ride all the way up that opens into the penthouse. As you guys make your way in, you would immediately be hit with the smell of patchouli and skunk. You know what I mean? And you would find that Tara is currently sprawled out, just complete wide out on the couch, completely unconscious, sleeping her, snoring almost, probably even heavily, as you see that there is what was a very nice like bowl that was set out as an art piece that is now being used as an ashtray next to her with like three roaches left in it, and an incense stick just like half leaned across it that's burned its way out and been burnt out. A couple of crystals surround the place where she is sleeping. She has more or less made herself, a little nest there on the couch, and is completely passed out at the time you guys come in. But otherwise, it does seem quiet and without, any intrusion. So yeah, you guys feel pretty confident. You can even take a look around. You wouldn't find anyone. It's pretty quiet. Um, so I guess the real question is, Newmar, Jamal, and Snowcone, do you guys head back to your own abodes, or?
I think I would
Think
just
so?
take a yeah. I think I would
Yeah, I
just
think
take a
I'm head
second.
on.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, okay. So you guys each make your way back. You drop Snowcone off at his van, which, if I'm not mistaken, Snowcone's ice cream truck, um, pharmacy truck, was actually parked not too far from the graveyard. Anyway, so you can drop him off at his mobile fortress, and you guys can, make your way back to the crypt. Marina,
Okay.
as you're
Yeah.
kind of sitting there for the first time, as before the day sleep quite takes you, and you have this moment where you're sitting in the penthouse, the place that you have known as your cage for so long, knowing that you could walk out now at any point that you want, but not hearing the sound of Anthony prattling on about, the movies or the films that he's worked on, the celebrities that he's known, how big and famous you'll be, or lecturing you on the tenets of the Camarilla, any of these things. There's just a moment of quiet where you can have this place to yourself for the first time, knowing that you're no longer held by the bars. What goes through Marina's mind? I'm just kind of curious what you would feel or think in that moment. You know what I mean? Would you feel comfortable there?
She she looks around. She feels slightly comfortable, but one of the first things that crossed her mind is, I need to redecorate this a little bit.
It's been pretty well put together, you know what I mean? But it definitely is not your style. You know what I mean? Somebody has done
Yeah.
a nice job to decorate the place, and for Anthony, this was probably very nice. But for Marina, not you. Just doesn't speak your name.
And
Uh,
nice change of scenery from what she was used to.
yeah, yeah, that's true too. Just something different than what you had previously had. But yeah, you get to sit there and contemplate that for about 2 hours. Looking around,
Before,
left to your own devices.
yeah. One thing she does do though, she goes grab a piece of paper, um, and writes "sorry about the crystal" and walks over and just tapes it on Tara's forehead.
Yeah, yeah. She
Put
kind
a
of
little smiley face. Little
and
smiley face on there.
I gotta know. Does the smiley face have little fangs? You know what I mean? Like just little fangs sticking out of the bottom of it.
Yeah, just little. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. You sit there and quietly listen to the occasional snoring of Tara as you finally wait for the sun to begin to rise, and the curtains have all been closed, and you find yourself settling in for the day within your room. Any special other than that, is there any others like special arrangements or I'm trying to think, like special rituals or anything that you have before sleep, or just kind of close off everything, pass out?
Not really. Not really yet. At least
Yep.
not yet. Just
Yep. You crawl into your rather oversized, comfortable bed. Though he did keep you captive, he did at very least try to ensure that you were catered to as best as he could to try and make this cage seem at least a little less, you know,
Take over his room
foreboding.
tomorrow.
Taking that room, yeah. You definitely know that's where all the good vaults and safes and everything are, for sure. But yeah, you fall into your slumber. For those of you that head back, Snowcone and Numar and Jamal, following with your wits and awareness rolls, um, I think you would, see that the guy, again, as you're pulling away, you notice the guy that's watching the apartment. He tips his head to you as you kind of roll back, and it seems rather quiet in your neighborhood as far as that goes. The usual people milling about. It's like a Tuesday night. So, well, I guess no, I said it was like a Friday, didn't I? Because the club was packed and Ruku was doing something special. So you'd see a few people wandering back, staggering around drunk, passing by alleyways, and like the thought probably occurs to you that all the uh, possibilities that many of these people may, at least a handful of these people may not make it back home so easily without having to get pulled into one of those alleyways. It's different when you know what's in the darkness, but you don't see anything that would stand out to you as, pressing or emergent. Just the passing of people, drunk people that are milling about and doing their thing, as far as that goes, making their way back from whatever tavern they're crawling out of. It seems like those places on Nocturne Alley, the little bar alley close to your place, seem to be shutting down, and most people are staggering or singing as they make their way out of the bars and make their way back. Do you guys make any special stops? Do you do anything else, or just kind of head back to the crypt and settle in for the night?
Um,
Uh,
Oh, sorry.
Go
that's
ahead.
okay.
I'm still thinking.
Snowcone, go ahead.
I was just gonna talk to like Newmar and just be like, hey, tomorrow let's work on that flashlight, the special flashlight that we got going, because I may have something that we could test it out on if you're down for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting on parts. I guess if we have a way to get it sooner, we can work on it. You might just have to take it though. They really had nothing at the store.
Hmm.
That if you remember from last week, you know that you could wait a week on the parts, or there is a really nice um what do you call that, robotics department at UCLA. You know what I mean? That would probably have the equipment that you need, but would require a little B&E to acquire it.
I mean, there's
Or
always that university. I mean, we could always just, sneak in and grab the parts, be out. No one would know.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Man,
I
I
mean,
also need
oh, go ahead.
I I also have like a Roomba I'm trying to upgrade. It keeps like
Oh,
running into walls for some reason. Uh, Maybe we can mount the flashlight onto that.
Way more Roomba.
yeah, that could work.
it's just it's the fucking police death bots that they're sending out everywhere. This is exactly what the world's worried about right now.
A hacky version of it.
Taser Roombas.
But yeah. Yeah, you guys have your little discussion before dropping Snowcone off at your truck. Snowcone, do you do anything special before you close down for the night, or just kind of lock yourself into your mobile fortress, shut down the I'm assuming there's almost like, upgraded lock system, you know what I mean, that you've hatched onto this thing to ensure that nobody opens a door during the middle of the day inspecting the vehicle or something. So, other than just sealing yourself in, is there anything special that you do?
Yeah, I would write a note down by the vial of gangrel blood of just like secondhand, just like gangrel blood experiment, later dates, Question mark. And then just go to bed.
There you go. You crawl into your bunk that's, wedged in. It's probably like one of those like campers where you get like the upper bunk or something, or the fold out bed that pulls down, and you crawl into your cozy little spot. Your almost coffin like, sleeping compartment, and wait for the day's sleep to take you. The last two of you, as you make your way back to the crypt, the cemetery is rather quiet. You do see a plume of white smoke that's billowing out from the crematorium, showing that there are people still, even at this hour, working late into the night doing their job. As you can kind of get the smell on the air of a extremely heated fire, that is used for the incinerator. But it all seems to be quiet in the graveyard otherwise.
Such a waste that they just burn them, you know?
It is rather unfortunate, isn't it? Especially for someone who lives on corpses,
It's like, just bury them. Come on.
That's what you do with bodies.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get rid of them.
I guess there's your way too.
I almost wonder if we could sabotage that thing, we might get more bodies out of it.
Don't make this a we thing. Yeah, I'll I'll assist, but don't make this a we thing.
Okay, fine. Don't expect me to share the bodies if I.
Yeah. Don't elaborate.
I'm not gonna share. That's pretty good
I'll
stuff.
help. Just spare me the stories.
Fair
Hey,
enough.
what?
That's all I ask.
All right, let's go.
Hey, Numar, could you give me a intelligence and investigation roll? This is for something that's already passed, but just kind of curious.
Probably gonna do kind of not great.
But one success. So you remember when you first found this crypt. You know what I mean? You left the crypt that you came from in Texas or wherever it may have been. But you do remember when you first found this place, doing a little bit of investigating. You know what I mean? Just to make sure that this was a pretty quiet cemetery. You weren't going to have anyone that was, there's no security. You know that this place doesn't have any cameras. You've taken all the proper precautions to make sure that your haven was protected. You do remember that there was seemingly a singular older man and a kind of younger, maybe 30 to 40-year-old gentleman that both work the crematorium at night during those times anyway. And you've been over there close enough to at least look in and see that they store the bodies for a couple of days, and as far as like the actual process, there is still like the draining of blood and embalming. So you at very least know that they probably store blood there, that they have bodies there for a little while, but never actually took the time to maybe break in and give a thorough investigation. But, as someone who feasts on the dead, it was definitely something that you probably at least took interest in at one point when you first arrived. So seeing that plume of smoke's just a subtle reminder that, like, yeah, there's actually good meals over there. You know what I mean? Nice cold dishes, yeah, so to speak, kept on ice.
Yeah, probably like a 50-50 chance to get a mouthful of blood or formaldehyde. One or the other.
Yeah, depending on what your medical skills are and if you know if that body's been embalmed or not. But yeah, you definitely know that, at very least for a small period of time, the bodies are stored there before being embalmed and eventually cremated or buried. Either way, it kind of, so like I keep calling it a crematorium, but it does actually have like a morgue there as well. You know what I mean? So both that crematorium and morgue serves both, the crematorium, or I guess the morgue, I should say, serves both the crematorium and the graveyard. So, it's something that you always kind of keep in mind that, like, I guess if things ever get bad, there is that always that option. But yeah, anyway, I just figured I was kind of curious as to how much investigating you'd done there. But yeah, so as you guys make your way into your crypt, things are as they usually are, dark, dank, and musty. That old quilted blanket that's thrown over the back of the couch. And Numar, do you have your own personal sleeping space here? Like I think we mentioned like you just kind of like slept on a slab or something. Like
Yeah, I mean, I think like there's one of the sarcophaguses.
yeah,
I don't know,
definitely.
is that our farm?
Yeah, sarcophagi.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure about that. Yeah, I think I have one of those that's been emptied out. Like either the guy's been removed, or at least most of them's been removed and pushed to the corner.
You keep the shoes in there.
Out of
Right, like
respect.
his clothes is still there.
Just
There's a
there's
blanket
Watch
or
or something.
padding.
You know?
a dusty old wad of clothes that sit in the corner. Uh,
Oh, that's for sure. His watch is just like my watch for the morning, so I know what time it is.
yeah, it's you
I
know
get
what,
that from the previous guy.
and no matter how many times you've adjusted it, you still can't get the alarm to stop going off right before you go to sleep. It goes off at 6 a.m. every morning, just without fail. You've tinkered with it. Technology still can't get to stop. This is definitely a good watch. It'll last a lifetime. A pair of glasses lying there on top of a pair of clothes, and what remains of the person that once stayed in the slab. But yeah, you guys cozy up into your sleeping quarters, into your, onto Jamal's couch or Numar's sarcophagi, as far as that goes, sarcophagus, and make your way into day sleep as it takes you. You guys, can almost feel your body slowing and bringing itself to a crawl as you guys know the sun is on its rise and your lights eventually fade out into utter darkness. No sleep, no dreams, no, you know, fantasy that you used to have when you would close your eyes, but just utter darkness and void as you fall to sleep. The rest of the world begins its day as you guys end yours, and I
Hey,
think
yo,
that's.
Kevin. That's nice and all, but like,
Fuck, I
do I have
forgot you.
anything happen on my patrol and shit?
God damn it, I forgot Bart. I was doing so good. I was really
Yeah.
doing good. Actually, yes, Bart, I did
It was
have
a good
something
flow. Sorry to
I did
interrupt,
have
but-
something specific for you.
Ooh, shit.
So yep, so go ahead and give me a wits and awareness for your investigation as you make your way through. I
Can do.
I was doing so good. Knew I forgot one.
Boom.
I was specifically saving you for last because you'd be the last out. All right, so 3 successes. Yeah, as you are the last one, that's, as these guys are already settling into their slumbers and things like that, getting ready to let it take them, you're
A quick
out
part of
getting.
mine, just as note, is I want to stop by my cousin Frederick's house. Nosferatu pawn shop owner.
Oh,
Just to get a quick ass trade of information. Just who all is at least known to be within our like landlordship besides him. Like
Gotcha,
if he
yeah.
knows of any.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would probably be like one of the first places you stop before making your final pass. Just
Don't
to
want to be like
double-check
trying
on
to
things.
knock on the door when he's in bed.
Right, yeah.
Be that asshole.
He's got to unnail his coffin. But yeah, either way. So yeah, you make a quick pop by, and as you're sitting there, he is sitting in his usual chair, watching some old black and white television that's running some old like scary movies probably, that he's just constantly critiquing. Maybe he's watching like actually the old like Nosferatu movie and just critiquing it terribly. And he's like, I think Junior Frankenstein did it better. Honestly, I love that Gene Wilder. God, he's a guy. What a good dude. But anyway, how can I help you, buddy? Well, so you want to know about who's in the area? I mean, obviously, being the go-to guy for the undead or the occult around here. I know a few people. He said, but I think I could do a bit of a tally for you as far as that goes.
No
Um,
rush about it, but it's just where good to be in the know.
he said,
Because
used to have
still,
a
apparently, the Baron wants us to be more of the Overwatch or whatever. So you can come to me if you have troubles and shit. Apparently,
trust me, you don't want me coming to you with my problems, but
we should
I'll
support
keep it
each
in
other.
mind.
Like it's a back and forth.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
The guy before you did a pretty good job taking care of things. I liked Robert. He was a good guy. We settled into this neighborhood around the same time, so he always kept things pretty clean around here. Honestly, it was a pretty easy job. There's not many of us around here. I mean, in this little 4 or 5 blocks that you call yours. There's probably only, 2 or 3 others. Mostly people just come in. He said, honestly, I think as far as what's living here, it's probably just us. But there is a few that come here for food. The alley with all the bars. It's a pretty good hot spot. Not quite the rack that I grew up with, back in New York, but it does the job. When you need a quick bite, a little
That was
bit
like
to
in the
deal with.
park, right?
In the park?
Yeah, the rack that's in New York, like in
Oh,
Central Park,
oh
was
yeah,
it?
right. Is it? Well, yeah. I mean, there was that, and I mean, I guess it kind of moved around. There was a couple places we called the rack, but I mean, it just depended where you at. But yeah, the park was a good place. Personally, there was this really good place down on 31st. Had all the bars, best in the world. I love a little bit of sauce in my drink. You know what I mean? But either way, nowadays I mostly just I try to keep myself on a slimmer diet. But it is what it is. But yeah, I can survey the area a little bit, make sure there's nobody else staying here that I'm not aware of. Like I
Is
said,
there
Robert.
anything that he wants me to keep an eye out for?
Uh, Books. He says, those books that your buddy bought. We always looking for more relics or antiques. It's the occulty shit that sells really well. To be honest, I do better with the fake stuff than the good stuff. But I have a personal interest when people find something that actually has some real significance. He
Uh,
says the voodoo dolls and things that we stick out on the shelf, they sell all right, but I kind of have my own personal interest in antiquities. So any sort of old relics or even weaponry, any of that stuff, I always
yeah,
find the
I'm not
history
like
of it.
overly learned there, but I can bring you neat looking thing.
Right, I think I tell you what, I think that's a fair trade. You keep an eye out for anything that might be of interest to me, and I'll still pay you for it when you bring it in. I mean, I run a business; it's the least I could do. But, you make me your first stop when you find that, and I'll do a quick survey of the area, ask a few friends, and I'll get back to you within a night and make sure that who all's living here.
Yeah, thanks, cousin. And then I'll be on my way.
Hey, you take her easy.
Don't want to distract him from the movie too much.
Yeah, this fucking hack. You know what I mean?
Old asshole.
Right. He goes back to watching his movie, and you last hear him on the way out. He's like, "Why do they always think we turn into bats?" You know what I mean? And you close the door. The sound of the bell chimes behind you, as you make your last, circle around the neighborhood, taking a quick survey of your turf, things like that. With a 3 awareness, like I said, you see a lot of the same thing these guys did. Some people leaving from the bar, things like that. By the time that you're actually out, it's 4 or 5 in the morning. Most people are already done. You see the occasional person milling around, or maybe somebody starting their day, checking grabbing their paper out of a driveway somewhere.
For like some young group of people that are getting out of the bar, I want to try going by and doing a wheelie.
Oh
It's a thingy
yeah.
on my sheet, so let's attempt to do a wheelie.
Okay, just for the records, you drive like a touring bike, right?
Not
Let's
quite.
do it.
It's a cafe racer is
Okay,
a
yeah, that's
quite
right.
solid middle ground bike of where it's like it's meant for going kind of fast, but it's also kind of small. It doesn't have
Yeah.
much room for like storage and shit,
Well,
but
it's
it
not
can
like trying to
technically
do it
handle two people.
right. It's not like trying to do it on a Harley though, so that's not too
Yeah, it's not the
bad.
chopper that I have back at the garage right now. That thing I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be trying to do a wheelie on.
Right. So let's see. This is probably going to be a dexterity check for you.
Dexterity.
Uh, yeah, dex drive.
Okay. Oh,
3 successes.
hey.
You know what? You actually see like a couple of guys that a couple of dudes that are staggering back. They're singing a song to each other, as they're kind of walking side by side, swaying a little bit. And as they see the bike, you see them definitely take notice, and you pull this thing up on its back wheel and go riding down past the street, and you hear a hey, kind of just, it almost hey, as you're going past, you hear the muffled sound of them. But the one guy actually is like turning around and watching you and ends up like stumbling backwards and falls on his ass. You know what I mean? His buddy laughs and picks him up, and they continue on down the road as you're riding past. It's about that time as you're coming by on the rear wheel, though, watching those guys, you kind of, yeah, nailed it. And as you bring it back down and take a look to your right on the opposite side of the street, you recognize a car that you had seen a few nights previous. It was a black Crown Victoria that's just kind of casually sitting alongside one of the roads with an individual in it that you would recognize as the police officer that you had seen about a week before when you were dealing with the pit fighters situation. Um, and you do take notice that as you ride by, and you're still definitely speeding at this point.
Yeah, it's
So
fully
it's
like butthole puckering because like I already am fully thinking this is a cop, this is a cop, this is a cop, this is a cop, and
yeah,
like trying to
exactly.
then play it cool, but
Well, yeah,
might be
definitely.
both
And
suspect.
you had just dropped the front tire back to the ground as you noticed it too. And as you look at that driver's seat, you see that the individual is sitting inside of it. And you can watch almost as your eyes trail with each other as he watches you go by. He does not turn on any lights. He does not pull out, but he definitely took direct notice of you as you went by. Um, it's probably a minute or two before you feel confident that he's not following you. You know what I mean? But as you make your way back to the garage, all seems to
Was
be
he
quiet.
watching
But
any place in particular, like any place
it,
of note?
it seemed that he was
You're
pretty
back.
close. Was it?
Oh, I said you're back.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
it.
like beyond myself.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
But
just coincidental, hopefully. Like
it
if this is next door to my haven, I'm gonna be paranoid.
it did seem that he was sitting just about a half a block away from the area where the bars are.
Yeah.
So there's like that small strip mall and bar area. He might have been watching the bars, but the interesting part was that he was more or less turned almost away. Like the car was facing the opposite direction from the bars.
Okay.
So either he was watching it from his rearview mirror or something in that area. You're not sure.
Like I'm
But
gonna make a note of that.
yep. But that's other than that, that's the only thing you notice on your little midnight cruise. You know what I mean? Uh, and as you pull back into your garage area, or sorry, actually your warehouse area,
We'll have
it
a garage, and
seems
my haven is below the warehouse.
right. Yeah, it seems pretty quiet. He doesn't, like I
Cool.
say, he doesn't seem to follow you, but it definitely does seem weird that you've seen this guy more than once, and even less fortunate that he's in your area at the moment. But yeah, you guys all make yourselves into your beds or coffins or closets or storage lockers wherever it is that you sleep, and that's where we'll go ahead and take our break. Since it's about 10:10 now, we'll give it probably about 10-15 minutes worth of break. We'll be back at like 10:25 ish. I'll try to keep it to a tight 15 real quick. But yeah, it's a good place for us to go ahead and pause. Appreciate you guys that have been watching so far. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream as far as that goes. If you're not enjoying the stream, add to it. If you are enjoying it, add to it even more. Make sure to head to our Ko-Fi shop during the break. Take the opportunity to look at the rumors that are already there, the evidence that's been added to them, and consider adding some of your own. That's what makes this game so entertaining. You guys can directly interact with it. You guys completely control the narrative. The only reason that I add anything is just, as the rumors come in. But as long as you guys keep flooding the game with rumors, that will be the narrative. And remember, at every $100 goal, which if I'm not mistaken, we're halfway there right now, at every $100 goal, another rumor becomes true. So we're only about, 5 rumors or, 10 evidence away from that becoming, from another rumor becoming true. Maybe you guys want to see those werewolves at the furry convention. I'm still pushing for that one real hard, or any of the other many options that are there. So go over and check that out. Also, if it's your first time here, make sure to follow the channel. It really does go a long way. Jump in chat, get active in chat, you know what I mean? That helps out our channel so much. We want to continue making these games. We want to continue playing them for you. We hope that you enjoy them. So in order for us to do that, we do need to pay the bills. It requires bandwidth. It requires electricity. So if you guys get the opportunity, head over to the Ko-Fi shop and consider either adding a rumor or just simply sending a tip or donation. Also, subscriptions. I am going to be pushing all month for subscriptions. November, I want to see 100 subs by the end of this month. That is our big push. We had that 2 months ago, and we need to get back to where we were now that the games are all fired back up. So exactly, support your streamers. If not for you guys, we don't get to continue doing this. So if you enjoy the stream, please consider subscribing to the channel. We have sound alerts. We got sound alerts. We got media shares, all those things. I don't do the media shares during these streams, but the sound alerts are active. So if you guys want, send in a sound alert. Make silly, funny, sound effects. TTS is active. You got a comment that you want to make on the game or your own critique or just want to add a quip, check out the AI-powered TTS. You can check that out in the panels down below. Any donation of $2 or any resub or gift sub, you can also do the TTS option with, and you can make it sound like Morgan Freeman or Eminem or Kanye West, whatever you want. You know what I mean? There's a lot of funny shit you guys can do with it. So, it supports the stream and it adds to the whole overall, enjoyment of the game. So I hope you guys decide to, get invested and, stand behind your stream. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and take us to a break. Like I said, actually, it's closer to 10:15 now. So like I said, give us about 15 minutes. Around 10:30, we'll continue, and we'll pick up where we left off, guys. So hang tight, enjoy your break, grab a snack, and check out that Ko-Fi shop. We'll be right back. I am so glad that we're live right now for everybody to hear that. I hope they did. Just Snowco in the background.
In time, Clark back.
Hey, perfect time. Clark guy back. All right, cool. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry it took an extra minute there. We were all trying to grab a snack while we could, but we still got some time to finish with you guys. So let's jump right back into our Kindred Society. We are going to have to start off with some housekeeping, though.
Yep.
So, first and foremost, you guys are waking up for the first time, so let's go ahead and do rouse checks. Everybody was at 1 hunger yesterday. You guys were doing good there. Yeah, everybody was nice and fed from Ruku. Success. Oh, come on, there we go. There's at least a failure. All right, we got 2 of you. It seems like the left side has got hungrier and the right side is fine, right? Oh, no, wait, there's 3. Okay. So let's see. Bart gets hungrier. Marina's fine. Snowcone gets hungrier. That's who it was. So, yep, every other one. Alrighty then. Cool. So you can make sure to mark your hunger accordingly as you guys all begin stirring for the night. It is, right around 9:15-ish. The sun is fully settled down over the I almost said over the hills, but that would not make sense in California. Settled down over the ocean.
We have Tons Hills.
Right, but the sun sets in the west. You know what I mean? It was there's not hills that way. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean. My bad.
Yeah, I almost said it. Yeah, because like here, the sun sets over the mountain, and so anyway, but yeah, go ahead. So you guys wake up, some of you get more hungry, feel those pains of hunger as you do, but what is it that you guys do when you wake up? Let's see, we're gonna have to start with a couple of different people because you're all in different places. All right, Bart. Let's start with Bart because I forgot about you earlier. I'm not gonna forget about you this time. Let's start with Bart.
All right.
When you wake up in your storage locker,
it's go through news, memes, general day to day. Get out, go do like an hour or 2 of the maintenance work that I would need to do on a seemingly daily basis for the folks upstairs.
let's dive into that a little bit. So, I'm kind of curious on this one because this is something we haven't actually explored a ton. You work at a factory where you do maintenance.
I work for a warehouse that I do maintenance.
Or yeah, warehouse. That's what it is, not a factory. So you work for a warehouse that you do some maintenance. But if I'm not mistaken, you also own that warehouse, do you not?
In a way, it was one of those just a means of justifying kindred resources, just because doing a basic job for a couple hours a day, every day, doesn't fully get me where I need to go. So I was just passing that off as sire handed down at least this small ownership deal.
That's what I was thinking. So this warehouse, what is it that they do here?
It was at least originally described as being a subsidiary of Pentex, where
that's right.
Just they make a bunch of things for the world. They are an Amazon-like company that does various things.
Amazon-like company, but
spread basically everywhere, and trucks go in and out.
Amazon-like company, but occasionally probably move some things that aren't great, right? Like
potentially even that too.
Yeah, like Amazon, but you can buy guns, or is this like Amazon, but you can buy plutonium? You know what I mean? How far does it stretch?
I'm down for plutonium just for the sake of that sounds like fun story.
Right. I feel like more or less. Excuse me. I feel like more or less what it is it's one of those warehouses that actually, it's not necessarily about what they sell, but about how they do it. So it's entirely possible that workers are typically maybe underpaid, or waste is not properly disposed of. So things like biohazardous waste sometimes pass through here, even though it's not supposed to by OSHA regulations. So yeah, you could probably get your hands on some stuff that you know, radioactive waste, you know, stuff that makes Ninja Turtles maybe, on occasion. So okay, I was just diving into that, and you own probably some, like a majority stockhold, you know, to where this thing trickles in money, but little do they know that you're actually working in their basement, pretending to be a more or less a janitor or, you know, maintenance guy. You know what I mean? But
I
actually
have the
own,
lease.
yeah, technically own the place. You know what I mean? Okay, so yeah, you didn't have to go through an interview. You know what I mean? You, but I guess that's what I was asking. Is like, when it does come time for interviews or hiring, you don't handle that. Somebody
No,
else
there's
does
some
that.
firm.
Right.
Like I have a
You're just
finance
getting
of one,
points.
so it comes even when it comes to the taxes of this. We'll have to deal with that when it gets to there, baby. Don't
Right.
have a
Okay.
clue.
Gotcha. All right. I was
If I
just
was
double
supposed
checking.
to prepare me for it more, and I'll probably have to go begging to him for it. But until then,
Very
we're
nice.
here.
All right. That works.
Past
I
that,
was just
the
kind of
only other
curious.
thing was just where I wanted to then head off. I forget the name of the region, but our next door place where my family lives. Like,
Okay.
I wanted to do the money drop off while we had the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you wake up, you grab your helmet, throw it on, you know what I mean? You don't have to worry too much about helmet hair because it's always helmet hair. But you throw on your turtle shell, and on the bike you go. Cruising off. So you said surrounding territory. They live in, like, I think we were
Uh,
saying closer to like downtown, right?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
the
Maybe
one
not the
kind of
best delivery.
directly east of us.
All right, bear with me here. Let's go ahead and switch over to that map and hopefully don't
Sorry, I
have any
can point to
trouble
it
when we
once I
do
see the
it.
pretty colors.
Right. Now let's hope it doesn't cause a crash, as it's been known to do.
Keep an eye on stream.
Oh,
Oh. Did we get through it?
oh,
Hey, so far so good,
hi.
man.
Yeah,
I don't
good.
know why, man. Every time I change maps, it wants to crash the stream. I think it has to do with process priority. But anyway, okay. So we
Or
got Inglewood.
well,
Inglewood's
I think
nice,
South
nice
Central is the
neighborhood,
one.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
South Central. Okay, so you make your way down to South Central. South Central LA, you know, notoriously known for not being the nicest part of LA, but not, you know, the absolute worst either. I mean, I guess it depends. That's the interesting juxtaposition in in Los Angeles, right? It is you have, you know, some of the most gang-ridden, you know, like rough neighborhoods directly next to the Hollywood Hills. You know, so you have beautiful mansions on this block, and 3 blocks later, you are in the projects. You know, so you make your way down to South Central and into a small, quiet, more reserved neighborhood. Um, there is probably some stuff that happens on the streets here at night, but not actually, you know, like gangland. You know what I
There's still just a
mean? So,
property price lowering gunshot that happens at least on the schedule once to every 1 to
yeah,
4 days.
it's
Uh,
Wednesday. You know what I mean?
uh,
Yeah, it's Wednesday. You know, they're at it again. Just ignore it. But at
but
least, you know, your family lives in a reasonably priced apartment complex, I would say, or a single family home. You tell
or
me.
like, I was checking in on an aunt, so but still he has another apartment that's somewhat within the local area. I have a few
Yeah,
relatives that have clustered together, but it's
that's
a
right.
small family.
Yeah.
And
So
end of the day, I want to just go and do my unseen passage. I'm not going about this in a way to be seen.
right. I do remember you saying that you kind of have an aunt that you drop the money to and things like that. She's not aware
That
of
was the
you, or
goal.
maybe not even where the money comes from. Just, you
No, this is
know,
the first instance is the thing. Like, it's just where
awesome.
they
Okay.
think I'm dead, or at least I'm missing. So
Right.
I'm not going to
Absolutely.
leave a note of who this is from, but it is still, in essence, going to be stashing this money inside a where she has her wheat stashed outside some like hidden alcove.
Right, right, absolutely.
So-
So that's actually perfect. So you make your way up the fire escape, knowing that that's the quickest way to get to the building without approaching it directly. And as you shimmy your way up there, you do actually get to see that it is late night. Your aunt, who maybe you haven't seen since being turned, is casually sitting on the couch watching nightly news. You could see the flicker of television light through the window and her sitting on the couch. This might be the first time that you've actually seen family in a long while. I'm
Mhm.
trying to think here. There's not necessarily, I don't think it's as far as like necessarily like a willpower test, but I wish there was a way to kind of contest that feel like how you would feel in this situation.
It's a feelings check. Where's a feelings check?
I think that's humanity, right?
Sure.
Give me a humanity roll. Just roll the unspent amount. So actually, no, that doesn't make sense, right?
I think
I always,
you get a
I
big
always-
number typically when it's stuff like this, but it's still
Okay, yes,
roll
that's it.
low and stuff.
You did it the
But-
way I wanted to. I know with like remorse check though, you do it the opposite way, right? You roll your unchecked boxes, which is a pain in the ass. But
Yep,
no,
it
that's
can be
perfect.
like that
Okay,
more.
4 successes, definitely fine. You know what I mean? Your humanity is definitely still something that you desperately almost miss, and cling to in a lot of ways.
Yes.
You notice the slipping. You find yourself in moments where you realize that changes have been happening and you're becoming a different person. But seeing this family member might bring up a little bit of a stirring or an emotion. And you can sit there for maybe a moment or two, even watching, and she just seems to have a nice casual evening by herself. She's poured herself a small glass of wine, and sitting there enjoying the nightly news and eating a TV dinner along with it, nice
Yeah.
glass of wine,
Simple.
shitty
Yeah.
TV dinner, but it's very simple, and it might remind you of something. So there is a little window box outside of her window that has fake flowers in it, and you know that they are fake, and she has been known to use this as an occasional stash box for a pack of cigarettes that she still hides from the family, and maybe even a little couple of joints tucked in there,
Mhm.
So you lift the fake flowers up, and you do see there's a half a pack of menthol cigarettes and a lighter, and a little container that's got like a couple of piece of weed in it or whatever. How do you leave this
Yeah.
money?
Just tucked under the various substances.
Do you
I'm
put
trying
any
to keep
sort
it
of
hidden. There's still people that would look in there and shit at some point, surely, and
right?
I don't trust folks in this neighborhood that much.
Oh.
So
The
it's
fact that the cigarettes and the weed are still there is a pretty good sign that nobody's
Huh.
found it yet, at very least. But yeah, do you leave a note or anything, or do you just put a
No.
handful of money in here?
Paul's learned from a different Nosferatu not to do that. So
Okay.
we're going to, at least for this moment, just leave a friendly gift of enough money to last a few weeks, or like do something special with, or maybe just a
Alright.
note for the family. Shit.
That's what I'm trying to see. You tell me, man.
I
There's definitely a
don't
moment of
want to get
debate.
paranoid about it, so yeah, just for the family. Simple enough.
A simple post-it note that says "for the family" left on it, tied around a rubber band full of money. A small little roll of money with a post-it note. And after taking another moment to sit there and kind of be pleasantly enjoy the fact of knowing that even though there's nothing exciting going on in their life, they seem to be content. And you get to make your way back, and it's probably a very long motorcycle ride back, having to roll away from that, knowing that you couldn't even say hello.
It's especially long because I'm at Hunger 3 now. Son of a.
Yeah, and you're really
Um,
hungry. How are you at Hunger 3?
Because I decided that I wanted to go real careful, like around my family, and use unseen presents.
Ah, that's it. I was about to say I missed that part, but yep, that's it. You're definitely unseen though, yeah. So that is the one nice part. You're totally they're totally unaware that you're there. But yeah, you make your long ride back. Let's see, Snowcone, another singular person. You guys are the easiest to deal with. As you wake up, you still see the vial of blood laying next to you with the note that you had mentioned. Give me a intelligence. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see what I want you to roll for this. What is Snowcone good at? You know what? You can use wits or intelligence. I know your intelligence is actually a little bit higher. So intelligence and occult.
Okay. And rolling bones.
Dim bones, dim bones. One success.
Shit.
As you sit there and take a look at that vial of blood and the letter that you had left with it the night previous, as it said something like gangrel blood. I forget what you had put with it. Gangrel blood. You know, investigate later or something on the little post-it note. You know what I mean? You start to think about all the interaction that you had with that person, the claws, the yellowed eyes, all these things. Definitely a gangrel. Pretty sure that was definitely a gangrel. 90% sure. But you also know that if you don't find some way to properly store this blood, it could lose its potential potency. You know what I mean? Just laying out on a counter. So being the pharmacist that you are, makes you think to maybe store it slightly differently. But that's
probably
if
in
you
like a
want that's
fridge.
if you want it to maintain freshness. But of course, like for Tremere, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I think that's actually what it is, that you're unsure. Does it have to be fresh? Does it not have to be? You don't know. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm 90% sure that was a gangrel. Fucking, I don't know. You're starting to question yourself on a lot of things with a 1 for a success. But either way, just thoughts that you have as you wake up. But yeah, go ahead and tell me how you start your morning.
So knowing that we had a lot of stuff to do, I think Snowcone's gonna be like, all right, got a lot of stuff done, got a lot of money too. Time for me to keep some promises. So I think they're just gonna start sending out stuff in the mail. So I think the first thing is gonna be sending back some money to their home pharmacy back in Colorado. So that way, if anything's happening with the pharmacy, is like they got some money to keep themselves afloat for just a little bit longer.
Gotcha. And when as you're going through this process, I mean, it shows a bit about your age as you traditionally mail this around. You know what I mean? Instead of just wire transferring it like the rest of the modern world, it shows that you might be from a earlier time. But also, as you're going through it, you do so, also have your own letters and information there. You get some records from that pharmacy, you know what I mean? Just, as it is kind of something that you were directly affiliated to yourself. I believe you actually like owned it, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah, so you get the bills. It seems to be still turning a profit. It's not making a ton of money. Mostly it's breaking even, but the extra money that would have been made is what supplies your needs. You know what I mean? So you do see your records of shipments and things that have been made, etc. But yeah, overall, it seems to be doing rather well, but not exceptionally well, because of course they ship you a lot of materials for your own experimentations. But yeah, everything seems to be going good. Just pouring over the records. They did lose an employee last month. Just someone that got, yep, older, got started to have illnesses, etc. One lady is on maternity leave, so they're kind of short staffed a little bit at the moment. So this extra money will probably go a long way to helping fix that problem. But at least you know that it is still doing well enough to where you will continue to get your supply of the drugs that you need for your science experiments. But yeah, you mail out your letters. Anyone else that you send money to, or anything else, or just mostly to the pharmacy?
Uh, I think the next thing I do is I'm mailing a gift to somebody, and that somebody. Oh my gosh, Man, this friggin' list.
Hannah?
To dang it, sorry about this. To Hannah, yeah, I'm mailing a gift to Hannah because
I was
I
on it.
told them that because I always like to keep my promise of like if I'm like going somewhere new or if I'm ever traveling somewhere, like I want to send them a souvenir to let them know that like, hey, I'm still alive, I'm still kicking, so
Right.
don't go
Where does
planning my death or funeral or whatever. So I think
where does Hannah live? So Hannah is a former colleague of yours, daughter, who you had promised to keep an eye on, correct? More or
correct.
less. And also a touchstone of yours. Where does she actually live? Is she Colorado based or is she more local? Any of those things?
I think she's just attending Colorado for the college. As to where she's staying, I think she's like I don't know, like a more northeast kind of person, like either Maine or somewhere in New York, like Albany.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Real quick here. As you are writing a letter to her, you actually find that there is a letter from her as well, and
Oh,
it's just a bit of an update about college is going well, things are going great. Thank you for the last gift. I do appreciate it. Things are tuition is a pain, but otherwise that's been taken care of.
oh,
Thanks to you, but it has been good to have somebody keeping an eye after me, and I appreciate it type of letter. But what I need you to do, since we're dealing with this touchstone and you're writing out, you're actually sending them some money, I need you to make a remorse check. So your sheet actually has remorse check on it, and it should roll all of your unmarked humanity boxes, and this will be to see if you can live with that stain that you incurred from having to snack on someone that's not your usual. You had to feast from someone that wasn't willing exactly. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get that remorse roll out of the way and see if you suffer any humanity loss. Do you see the remorse roll thing under your humanity? Yeah, there you go. You got it. Ooh, 0 successes. Wait, that only rolled one die. New humanity 7. Is that right? Yeah, because you had +1 humanity because of your thing. So okay, all right. Why did it only roll one dice?
Because he had one that had a stain on it, so
Oh,
we
okay,
have
yeah,
one left.
that's what it is. Yeah, humanity
I'm
8,
not
one
down here
+1
with
stain.
us.
So as you're sitting there looking over it, you realize to yourself a lot of things. You're sitting in a van, looking at a jar of blood, a handful of pharmaceuticals that you plan on testing on individuals, humans. You know what I mean? The kind that you vowed to kind of protect and heal. You were a healer. You're not supposed to be a, harm, someone who creates harm. Last night you won a fight by seriously injuring a person. And I think all of the weight of it and seeing how far you've come from the letter that you're reading of thank you for all the help that you've sent, all the good that you've done, you may not feel like you've done as much good. It's become routine. It's something you do, but I think you're lacking a bit of the appreciation of what you used to. So you can make that as you will, but either way, your humanity is decreased to 1 by 1. So just for the records, though, like your average human is at a 7. You know what I mean? Like your average person has a humanity of 7. So you're not, degrading to the point of becoming a terrible monster yet. But it definitely settles you in to where you no longer maybe feel like you're a step above. The salubri connection to your humanity and empathy is something that you've always prized yourself in. And maybe after this last couple of weeks, seeing the things that you have, doing the things that you have, maybe there's a bit of that missing, you know? But either way, won't linger on it too much. I just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way while we had the opportunity. And that's probably where your hunger kind of comes in. You know, the more you think about it, that hunger just wells up, and that's why you're at hunger two to start your day. All right. Real quick over to Jamal and Numar. You guys wake up in your haven. Numar, you have your Tinker toys all scattered out across the table as per usual. Lots of bits and wires and chips and all the other things that you got going on. That watch is still beeping from the night before since you went to bed a little early. You have to reach up, shut the damn thing off again. You know, you put it back on the clothing. It looks a little, you know, you actually, as you pick it up and turn it off, you realize there's a dust mark that's just perfectly outlining the watch. Maybe you need to do a little cleaning, but other than that, you know, you wake up and what do you guys do as you start your day?
After
I would assume Jamal's awake. And I'll ask him like, what do you think our plan for today should be?
you want to go check on that Silver guy or Sean or Damon or whatever?
Yeah, we could talk to him. There's also the gangbanger guy that we're kind of told Izzy would look into, but I have like no leads on how to catch him. We can ask that. That guy might be the guy to ask.
Yeah, that's the way to look at it. As long as we keep it safe around here, I'm not too worried about Izzy. She doesn't seem that organized. I think we can do a lot of workarounds with that one.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we'll just tell her we're on it, and, that we're working hard.
We are
She
on it.
doesn't know.
We're looking for Silver and his new friend.
Yeah, that works for me.
When you say silver, I'm assuming you mean Damian Steele.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And now, when you say his new friend, that's the one I'm trying to figure out.
The gangbanger from the club that night that we're supposed to be looking for.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Yep.
Okay.
So that's, yeah, you guys have a little discussion about where your day may lead to. Anything else special that you guys get into before you start your day?
I think like just for haven maintenance, since you know people wonder how we don't get caught with our under maintenance sign on our door. I imagine there's like some sort of shed, like a groundskeeper shed, where they just
There
keep a
is.
stack of like all the to-do lists that they have to do, and I just like every week or so that they're supposed to check it, I just fill one out for my crypt, make it seem like the morning shift did it, and the morning shift thinks the night shift did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
It has been rather easy. You know that Reuben Jacobs is the groundskeeper and gravedigger here at the, caretaker and gravedigger at the cemetery. And he employs two young men by the name of Chris and Austin, 19 and 18 respectively. And they're pretty easy to fill in for them, and they don't ask many questions. They're just glad it's less work to do. So when you fill in that form and you've been known to, stick around, maybe even silenced or hidden in the shadows to make sure it's taking hold, you know that they kind of come in, they're like, oh, cool. Looks like Ruben's got the other side again. All right. Well, I'll get on weed eating, etc. And they quickly disregard it. You know that these guys have been pretty easy to manipulate and is that way. But yeah, you absolutely do. You see that crypt maintenance, deal with, out of order, again. It's actually even written in there. Ruben wrote again. Go deal with that, and it still hasn't been dealt with. But that's easily marked away. So yeah, you know that you can pretty easily work those two kids over, and you do see that as they start their day. Most days as you're like finishing your day and they're starting theirs, that they tend to avoid your area. But cool. All right. Well, if
And
that's
I also
okay.
wanted to look to see if there was any information about the grave with the jerky man in it.
Oh yeah.
Like, just keep an eye out, like while I'm there, make sure there's nothing indicating that they're going to be adding a body there or taking anything out there.
So you
Yeah,
know
how's
that
Jack
was
Link's jerky doing?
Jack Links. So you do know that Marina specifically buried the body over top of an existing grave. You do see that there is a mention of it. And it actually is just a short note at the bottom of it that says, "Kids, I don't know what you were doing with the graves. Don't play with my backhoe again." You know what I mean? The backhoe is off limits. I saw that there was a disturbed grave. Imagine what the family was going to ask when they see the fresh dirt. Stop playing with things that don't belong to you. Is essentially the note that's left for both Chris and Austin. You know what I mean? Maybe they've had this issue before. You know what I mean? Where they play with things they're not supposed to. But there's mention of it, and it has been noticed, but at least seemingly for the time, it doesn't seem like, somebody's like, oh shit, they're digging up a grave. He just more or less assumes that it was the two younger individuals as well. Yeah, that was probably a big reason why you chose this graveyard over the many others that are in Los Angeles is, lack of security, lack of proper caretaking. They take well enough care of it. They mow the grass, they keep it looking nice, but as far as paying attention, not much goes on here. And that's the one nice thing about a graveyard is people don't suspect that the dead don't walk, or at least they're not supposed to. In your case, so they tend to ignore a lot of things, and it's made for a really safe haven for you. But yeah, you're good to go as far as that goes. But
All
okay.
right. Well, I was just doing my routine check. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, man. Awesome. Okay. In that case, we will head to the last person. I'm not going to do this every morning, of course. We don't have to go through your morning routine, but I just thought I'd check base on everybody since we've had kind of a busy week. Marina, as you wake up, you actually do smell something that smells out of place. You've been here for 6 months. You've never smelled that smell, and it's not the patchouli incense this time either. It smells kind of foul, whatever it is. It's almost maybe a rotten smell, or you're not 100% sure, but the smell immediately catches your attention as you wake up.
I'd like to try to find the location of the smell.
It is not too hard to track down. So as you make your way out of the room and into the main living quarters of this location, you actually see that your kitchen has been overtaken by a certain pothead individual that is going through and making whatever food they can. It's unusual because you haven't been around food since being turned, but the smell of it is now almost a little nauseating to you. She seems to have just fried some potatoes, made a piece of chicken that was in the fridge, and, added a few vegetables to it, etc. She's made a decent meal, and there's actually a plate sitting out on the counter for you as well. But the smell of it is just enough to kind of unsettle you a little bit. It's not... that looks like a decent roast chicken. You know what I mean? But doesn't have the same smell that it used to. That's for sure. But yeah, you would also see that Tara is currently sitting on the couch, watching some television, and takes notice of you. Says, "Oh, sorry." And starts like just wiping her face. I didn't I didn't have anything of my own. I wasn't really sure, but I kind of helped myself. I made you some.
It's okay. I don't think that I can eat that, sadly.
Oh God.
It's okay.
didn't...
It's okay. More for you. More for you.
Sure. Is there something I'm supposed to be doing? She just kind of like looks around like,
no, you can do whatever you want. Just like, you can do whatever.
Okay, cool.
Can you help me with something though?
Yeah, yeah. What do you need?
She, Marine, this was like 1 moment, walks back, comes back out with like several different, like, was it like 3 different outfits? It's like, I want to get out of this hoodie. Any options that you think would help?
Are you just asking which one looks the best?
Yeah. Give your opinion.
So, taking a look through your closet, I assume that Anton probably bought you some pretty decent stuff, but may or may not have exactly matched your taste exactly. Um, what exactly options? I guess. Okay. So the thing is she's looking through them. She's like, this is really
Yeah.
nice stuff. Like, sure, any of it would be fun. What's your vibe? Like, do you have like a certain, like aura that you go with? Is there like a certain,
I don't
sign
know.
that
It's
you?
been it's been a while since I've been able to actually just. I mean, I'm sure I've been wearing around here, but that's sort of different. I haven't really worn out. What do you? I don't know.
She stops and takes a minute and looks at you and just kind of looks you over. She's like, no. Yeah, you're right. This isn't right. I got it. And she just goes start rummaging through your shit. At this point, she's like pulling out clothes. You see things being thrown over a little bit. And within a couple of minutes' time, she has put together what she believes to be a rather decent outfit. It's just, a typical pair of jeans, shirt, etc. A little throwover jacket with it that almost looks like like those like half sleeve things that just like I don't know what it's like a halter top but like a throwover
Yeah.
jacket. And she's sitting there looking at it and she's thinking about it and looking at you, looking back at you. No, it's not vampire yet. Hold on a second. And she looks around and grabs a letter opener that was sat on the desk, you know what I mean? Just something that was part of the aesthetic when it was here, and just starts like ripping down through certain parts of the shirt and the pants, and within a couple of moments time you have what looks like the newest Ed Hardy collection. You know what I mean? Couple of little ripped knees in the jeans. The shirt is kind of thrown open a little bit to be a little more revealing. She cuts holes all the way down the side and ties it up. It is a mix between like Ed Hardy and Willie Nelson. You know what I mean? You got half hippie, half, LA girl, and she threw it together for you. She's like, nailed it. You know what I mean? Nailed it.
It's just
I very much enjoyed hearing your rendition of what you think women wear.
Right, yeah, exactly, right. Well, like my initial thought
She
was
tears
like she's
this,
just
and because women love dressing like Willie Nelson.
she really don't. Well, like it's fair enough, fair enough. Well, like my initial
I
thought
don't
was
know,
she's
Tara.
just gonna
That
hand
could
you
be
one
a
of her.
thing.
Well, I was about to say, my initial thought was she was just going to go get you one of her own flowery dresses that she wears, and you were going to be wearing nothing but tie dye for the next week. But she takes what you have and modifies it to be road chic. You know what I mean?
There was
Like,
no way she would have done anything but work with what she had.
oh yeah,
I appreciate
yeah.
what just happened.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yep, but yeah, she throws it together, and it probably looks like an outfit that she would wear. That's exactly it. It's definitely her style more than maybe yours, but it looks nice.
it's different than what I was that she was stuck with. So
Yeah.
she just looks over. I hope my note found you well, and
Oh
just
yeah,
just
I like the little
absent,
teeth.
yeah, as she's as absentmindedly just starts changing into the clothes.
Yep. She she uh she also absentmindedly just stands there and watches. You know what I mean? She's kind of in the zone. She does that. She zones out from time to time. But yeah, as you kind of, finish the ensemble, she's like, fuck yeah, I can dig it. And she's like, so, do I need to like get groceries or anything? You didn't have much, but like I can go do some shopping. Do you need anything?
I mean, I don't really need much. You can get whatever you'd like. If you're worried about, your friend that you were talking about, and sort of going like, mention this like sort of stalker thing. You could probably order it here. I think you probably There's probably a way to do that.
Yeah, like I could DoorDash on my phone. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that's fair. I probably ought to lay low for a little bit. I didn't even think about it. Wow. Um, I guess I can't lie. This is way nicer than the tiny little apartment I got. So I've just been kind of enjoying it, if that's fair to
Also,
say.
I saw you fell asleep on the couch. You didn't get to take any one of the beds. There's like 3 beds here.
I didn't know, but yeah, sure. If I'll move my things to a room.
All right.
But yeah. Otherwise, I think that's cool. She's like looks a little bit confused. She's still trying to settle herself in. But she's like, hey, if you ever need, like your aura read, or I could do a spread for you, or if you just want me to like keep you up to date on, your birth
I
sign or
don't
any of
know.
that stuff, I'm really good at that stuff. I don't have many like
I
real
don't know what the
world
second one is,
skills.
but I don't know what that second one you said is, but that does sound a bit interesting. But probably
Pro-
not thinking what I'm probably not thinking what I think it is
uh,
right. This is my
tarot,
never mind that.
tarot. Yeah, she's like tarot cards. The
Yeah,
with the
okay, yeah.
pictures.
Okay.
Um,
Um, okay. I should probably go check the news and see how the others are doing.
yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not here. Totally out of your way. Um, but yeah, I'll go move my things to a room. Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
There's
just
a
trots off.
very was it she's like, I mean, if you want this very bright pink room in here, I'm gonna be moving over to the other room. I think I'll be moving my stuff out of this one.
Yeah, sweet. I
If
think
you
I
want the
can
pink
do
room.
something with this. Yeah,
Okay,
pink's
there's
fine
the
with me.
there's a pink room, and then there's another like spare room over there that's sort of just more dull.
I'm usually more earth tony, but yeah, I can work with this. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And she's like, just let me know if you need help with anything. Otherwise, I just been doing my thing. Oh man, I had a killer session earlier. Actually, dude, with all this new research I've been doing, I've been kind of diving more into like occult stuff. So like I'm getting this whole new crowd of followers that are checking out my occult stuff. It's awesome, and honestly, like with the whole aesthetic, like people think I'm like famous or something.
Oh, that's nice. From what little I do know of all this vampire stuff that I've just become very, I mean, acquainted with recently. Um, just be careful with what you put out there. I think there's a couple of a couple of my fanged friends that might not take appreciate it if they learn that you might know things.
Right. No. So Snowcone told me about that part, and
Okay,
he said
okay,
not to mention any of the vampire stuff, but like, maybe some of like the darker magics and maybe like spirits and stuff that I've been
yeah,
researching. Like, I'm just like
yeah,
putting in a little bit that those in the know, real witches like
yeah,
myself, they get the point.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Jamal
Just
called me a mage. Like he thinks I'm a wizard or something, like Gandalf. Like.
I, I would just say be careful with what you put out there. I'm for what it sounds like a lot of this stuff is dangerous. But
Yeah, totally. I'll be cool about it. No worries. Yeah. Either way. And she just kind of like nods in approval and goes and starts grabbing her stuff and bringing it into what was your room.
as
Other than clothes and whatever you had, was there anything else that you've had in your personal space here?
probably not. There probably wasn't anything that she'd really care about. Wasn't anything that she personally, got herself. It was all stuff that was put there.
Right. Yeah, that's what I said. Most of it was given to you. When you arrived in LA, you had a couple of bags, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, small town girl making her way to the big city. So yeah, all that stuff, she moves her stuff in. You're quickly able to, take out the stuff that you actually wanted from the room and put into the other. As you open the closet, you do realize there's still a lot of Anton or Antony stuff. Was it Anton? Yeah, Anton.
Yeah.
Anton suits, nice business suits, casual wear, things like that. There's a majority of it is suits, like fine Italian suits. They're probably worth money. You find a whole drawer full of cufflinks, you know what I mean? Watches. There's a whole variety of things around here. But it's all, his belongings that were originally in the room. What do you do with that stuff?
Sort of section it out to a different area. I mean, never know whenever someone could use a good suit, especially with with our group, in case for whatever reason we need to dress in something expensive and fancy.
Very nice stuff.
You never know
Cool.
when the need arises.
All right, so yeah, you got places to store it around the house, but you don't just like throw it out or anything. Okay, that was all I was wondering. As far as that goes, at that point, what do you guys do? Does Marina make her way towards the others? Does the others make their way toward Marina? Does Snowcone show up? How do you guys do that?
Has there already been a call to the lawyer?
There has not been. Nobody's made mention of it.
I think I made a mention of it earlier that I was against it.
Oh,
Does so?
But I'm not there.
Marina, I
Yeah.
assume that you arrived by bus, by plane, whatever. You don't have a car. One of the things that you do notice, though, as you're going through Antony's stuff, is there is a couple of keys that have been put in that safe. As far as that goes, the one hidden behind the picture in his room. You did find a couple of sets of keys in there. Do you investigate that?
Yes.
So by keys, what I actually mean is key fobs. And you take a couple of them, one of them, whichever, and make your way down to what you understand to be the parking garage that is located under the building, and start checking buttons. And there is 5 cars in a row that all belong to Anton. There is a luxury SUV. There is a rather large kind of so there's you have your luxury SUV, you have a Hummer, and then there is 3 varieties of sports cars that are all decked out right there, all at your disposal. You get to feel free to make those up as you wish, as to whatever you want. But yeah, Anton had money, so you've acquired a lot of his belongings. Each of them just say something like "duh, boss" on the fucking license plate, though, like something real egotistical. It's damn near the pussy wagon from a Kill Bill. But yeah, you find several vehicles that are at your disposal if you choose to use them. So you guys tell me how you all meet up for the night, or if you do.
I would. Did we set up a way to contact each other?
I mean, you guys
you
all
have
have
my phone number
phones.
and probably snow cones.
Yeah. You know that at very least Tara would have access to Snowcone's phone number. Bart had given you his phone at one point. You know that Numar tends to get both Numar and Jamal have issues with their phones a lot. Like, you've only known them for a day, but they're constantly having problems with their phone for some damn reason. But yeah, you probably have their numbers, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I'll probably ask Tara to see if they can get him. She can get him over here.
Yeah, totally. I'll shoot him a call. Snowcone, you would receive a text just says, "Hey, your friend wanted you to stop by. I think she's mad at me for eating her chicken. But be cool to see you. Peace."
It's like I kind of take a second to process that, and then just say, "Chicken? What?"
That's a metaphor? What's going on over there? It's a euphemism?
Chicken.
It's like, all right, I'll head over. I'll send a text and be like, "I'll be there soon," and then just send the text like that.
Okay. Well, you guys would each receive a text from Snowcone then that says, "Hey, heading to Marinas," essentially.
So do we have to like roll to see if we get it or anything like that? How does
uh,
that work?
I'll also mention in the text it's like somebody bring chicken question mark.
Somebody bring chicken. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so no, I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You guys get your phone calls, but it might take a minute. Like you realize the timestamp is like 20 minutes old. You know what I mean? By the time you finally get yours, and then like 5 minutes later, Jamal's goes off and says the same thing, same timestamp. You guys need a group chat.
I send like a thumbs up emoji, but it comes back like some other emoji that you can't really determine if it's good or bad.
Right? Yeah, yeah. You definitely get a train emote. You get a train emoji, Snowcone. But yeah, you guys all head over that way, I guess. Then
Yeah, let's
does
go.
does anybody grab chicken?
No.
I wouldn't mind getting a quick feed in if I can do a quick swing by of the retirement home.
You sure can. So you're just popping in to grab a snack?
Yeah, it's decently quick. Or like, it's trying to find the near. Well, I'm not going to burn my herd. I technically have a dot of herd that is through these folks for the true easy of like, if I'm absolutely fucked up and I need someone, I have like the one hidden window that always open. But I'll go for a classic break-in.
Right on. Do you know what the role is supposed to be for yours? I don't have. I'm sure I have it
Like,
here, but I'm not seeing it right in front of me.
The wit's stealth plus my break-in.
Yeah, let's say you're. Are you Sandman? I can't remember.
Yep.
Yeah. So dexterity stealth. If you want to just go ahead and roll dex and stealth. Should be an easy roll for you.
It's decent.
3 successes.
Hey.
In and out. Larry, the one of your more regulars that's still mostly in decent enough health, but just doesn't have family in the area to care for him. Was placed in the retirement home. And he lives in the assisted living section, but mostly takes care of himself. You pop in. He, of course, it is after 6 p.m., so he is asleep. So you stop in and grab yourself a quick bite. And you can remove up to 2 dots without risking injury on him.
I'll take 2, but feel a little bad about it.
Done and done.
Get on with my night like it's back out. Fuck.
As long as he feels bad about it.
As long as you feel bad about it. That's exactly it. But yeah, you grab, stop off, you grab a bite, and you can catch up with the rest of these guys. So
like,
again,
2's only a little risky. 3's when it gets into the you might be killing these folks.
right, especially with the
maneuver.
elderly. You know what I mean? So like even your average mortal, 3 is definitely going to make them woozy, beyond, and actually even risk potential harm to them for sure. 2 makes them dizzy. 3 is risking harm, but especially with these elderly folk, that's why you tend to go to Larry. He's mostly still physically capable, just doesn't have, the mind is starting to go a little bit. Yeah, he may not remember all of his grandkids' names. But yeah, you stop in, you grab a quick bite. He seems to be doing okay. I need you to just roll a D100 for me, please, if you could.
Sure.
Just have 20. Look at you.
The reasonable
Okay.
option.
Right. So bear with me here a second while I pull something up. We just made some new rules this week, so let's use them.
Oh, a drug chart.
Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
E100 is not a good thing to see in a
9,
vampire
10.
game.
Oh, that is perfect. So there is exactly 10 options that we've put into place here. So let's see which one you get. 8. Ah, great. So your next rouse check on a level 2 discipline ability is you do or you get a reroll on your next rouse check. Uh, so you can do that reroll on your next level 2 rouse check. But any medical inspection will immediately identify you as being deceased. Receive a 1 die penalty to any face-to-face social test with a mortal, which probably isn't great for you anyway. Also, you have an awkward boner. So yeah, you've sampled a little Viagra. Larry's been hitting the ladies. You know, Larry. You know that Larry knows a few of the misses from around the place. He can't remember their names, but he makes his rounds. These old folk homes, man, that's all they do. They play shuffleboard and screw. So yeah, that's something that you get in your system a little bit. But
I
yeah,
tell you that Mrs. Lipinski's hips don't lie.
that's exactly it. You know, I can't remember her
Oh.
name, but she does the thing with my butt. But yeah, by all means, you guys make
Right.
I'd like you to
you
remember
guys.
her name.
Oh yeah, that's it. I can't remember her name, but I remember that part. It was a surprise. Anywho, you guys all meet up at Marina's, I assume. Does anyone grab chicken? Okay, nobody shows up with
Uh,
chicken.
I don't think I'm gonna get it either. No.
Nah, that's
Where do you get
okay.
chicken?
It's perfectly acceptable that you don't. But no, as you guys show up at Marina's penthouse, the doorman does tip his hat to you, and actually says, "Excuse me, if you could give me just a moment." He actually calls up to you, Marina, and would say, "Hey, we have some individuals down here. They were the ones that were with you yesterday, but you had asked me to stop anyone coming in or out of the building."
Oh yeah, you a lot of them go up. They're always fine to come up here.
Yes, ma'am, as you suggest. And the
So,
doorman does, please go ahead. She's made room for you, or whatever.
As he's asked,
In this
I
scenario,
guess I'll
I let a
tip him
guy in
like
a
a
bellhop
tenner.
uniform stop me.
What's that?
I said, in this scenario, I let a guy in a bellhop uniform stop me.
Yeah, I mean that's up to you. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
If you don't have to.
You can go to the elevator, but you kind of can't go up it without the key. You can stay in an elevator shaft and just wait there.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
Look at yourself in the mirror.
and just for the record, it's not like a straight up bellhop. He's got a decent suit. It's a nice place, but it's a little bellhoppy. He doesn't wear the stupid hat. You know, he doesn't wear the pillbox hat. But yeah,
The
it's
hat
pretty
is the
bad.
only authority I would have respected.
Right. But as you make your way up, you guys immediately all are met with that same kind of sour smell. Uh, and quickly identifying it, there is several plates of chicken laying around this apartment. Um, as you guys all make your way up into it, and I guess Marina, at this point, you'd probably be milling around, moving things from one room to another, as Tara is currently working on a craft of some sort. She's got a bunch of straw, some eggshells, several bits of what appears to be like hemp rope or twine, and she's braiding it all together with a small little pouch. Yeah, not exactly sure what's going on there, but it looks like some sort of ritualistic fetish.
You, for the short time I've known you, you slightly concern me.
I have that effect. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You're not the first person
Oh.
that's told me that.
I can not. Okay. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hey,
does the,
sorry we couldn't bring the chicken.
When does the cleaning lady come by?
Actually, I could probably get that sorted. Actually,
People with
She-
places like this don't clean their own place. Somebody's going to come by and try and clean up.
well, he didn't really like other people in here. He always tried to keep up after himself. One of the few things that he actually did decently.
So, just for the records, you do recall that there was a man by the name of Bernard, or at least that's what he kept calling him, Anyway, that would come by once to twice a week, and he would bring, as I said, would handle, minor affairs, for Anton, as described. You still got about a day or two before that visit, though. But unless somebody contacts him or has a way to contact him, you assume he'll show up on Thursdays as expected.
You may not remember, but somebody cleaned this place. You're going to need to figure that out before they come back in and wonder why the person who takes care of them is taking care of you.
There was someone else that did come here. It wasn't really as much as much as just cleaning. It was more for some other little things. He brought things here mostly, like what little we had in the fridge and a few other various things. He would actually be here in a few days. That's why I was going to ask you guys if we could try to figure out about this lawyer person, because eventually it is going to come out. He if he doesn't make any sort of contact like that, it's going to get out that he's no longer around, and it's probably going to be worse if we don't say something.
How's that work?
Never shows up, never makes any contact with the people that I normally have to make contact with every once in a while. He comes here, doesn't see him here, which would not be a regular thing. It's going to cause a lot of questions and probably going to make a lot more of an issue.
Sounds like you need to make contact with the people who he makes contact with, not the people he doesn't make contact with.
Yep, that'd be this lawyer that has everything in the will. If we can explain a death in a way that makes sense. For people like us, is there any? He told me some about it, but I don't remember all the tidbits on it. Is there any? Who would go after someone like us?
I'm only a couple minutes older than you, but it sounds like you're telling me you want to figure out a will for a man who's already dead.
Yes, but if we just show up and say, I mean, if we go up there and say he's dead, and they, try to figure out how, and it causes a bunch of questions and people try to come investigate, that also might not be a good thing for me or possibly anyone else connected to all this. So I mean, is there people that hunt people like us? I think you mentioned something about that.
Your hand?
Go ahead.
There's actually quite a lot of people who are out to kill us. Like besides normal humans, let's see, you got the werewolves, then there was that whole wraith thing that happened. But it's usually just humans, so it depends on your flavor. If it's just some regular humans, then it's probably just some hunters. But if it's organized, then you're probably thinking of the Second Inquisition. But if Second Inquisition is involved, then it's going to cause a lot more attention on us because they don't just drop by anywhere for no reason.
Yeah.
She's thinking about faking a death. Which is different.
Is that all?
Not faking a death, but hiding what actually happened.
He is dead.
Yeah.
And as far as the will goes, you did find records that said that everything was to be left to Marina, but you know what I mean. And it was being managed by an individual. But as far as that goes, still explaining the death and ensuring that it doesn't have any consequences that come with it. I believe that's the part you're trying to figure out, right?
Yeah, because I was thinking if there's a group of people that hunt people like us, maybe that could be explained away in that sort of terms. A group of them got the better of him when they was expecting it.
Or you could go a more simpler route than that. Let's see. Depending on the clan. Waka got trapped in the sunlight. Simple as that.
He's lived for a very, very long time. I don't know if he'd make a simple mistake like that.
How is the lawyer human?
We're not sure about this. This is another thing we have to figure out. But if he managed all of his affairs, that might be a very... I'm guessing he might know something if he managed all of the affairs?
Not that. Simple question. You need to know if he's human.
That's something we have to figure out when we get there.
Can't get there. Before we leave, we need to know if he's human.
Unless if you have some magical way to tell if he's human or not from here.
If we arrive and he can see that you've killed a vampire in the last 100 years, then nothing you say matters.
That's if I.
That's
That means.
something that we can do.
Wait, sorry. Or-
That's something that we can do. He
Yeah.
can
Not that
see
many
it.
people,
Some of us
though.
can. She doesn't know that, and we don't know what or it he is.
Well, Kevin,
And
would we know
Bart
how
knows less than
common
that.
the diablerie sense is?
Jamal does.
Yeah,
How common the what?
the diablerie sense is. Like,
Oh, like how
Eye of the
long a
Soul.
person would know. You know what I mean?
Well, how
There's one
common
specific
is this power?
discipline
Like, is
that
it something
I
that's
think it's level 2. It's not even high level.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly which one it is. Yeah, like I said, it's Scry the Soul, if I'm not mistaken. And I can look that up for you real quick to see how long that lasts, because I don't remember right off the top of my head.
It's going to be longer than a day.
uh-huh. Like, I don't care about how long it lasts. I care about how
Yeah, whether
likely
or
it
not
would be that person would even have it. So level 3 that they make an intelligence and aspects where it's composure and subterfuge.
Those are
On
two of my highest,
a
I think.
success, the
probably like a
storyteller
week or
gets to
something
tell
like
the
that.
character a new interesting fact based on a list.
Yeah, we'll say that it probably lasts up to a month, because I don't think it has an actual time frame on it here, as far as that goes. So we'll just say that probably lasts for about a month. You know what I mean? That seems about right to me. So yeah, at least for the next 30 days, it is possible that could be detected, if that's what you're asking as far as that
No,
goes.
I'm strictly asking if, just based on Bart's limited knowledge of kindred power,
Yeah.
is this kind of specific thing within the wheelhouse of, say, 1 in 10 kindred?
I thought that what you came up with is that Bart didn't know.
I'm just asking if he does know.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we just
Right
said.
now, it's sounding like a bit of an extreme thing to still be peering into,
And the answer
seeing
was he
the inner
doesn't.
workings of a person, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Correct me
So
if I'm wrong, but the answer is he doesn't.
so like
It's
it
up
was
to you.
open. I mean, of course, it was openly discussed as far as like whether or not she had committed this.
Mhm.
That was something that was debated. Yeah, I think Bart probably wouldn't know exactly like how often this type of thing happens, if that's what you mean. You know what I mean?
No, I'm
It's
still more wondering about the concern. We apparently know that there are kindred that can sense that
oh
someone has
yeah,
done this act.
yeah,
How
and
common is this sense?
oh, okay.
You decide.
How common is it that someone possesses Scry the Soul? Is what you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get what you're going for now. Yeah. Um, I think that you would. Honestly, I don't think you'd have any clue. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because like
Yeah, that was the determination.
yeah. Well, I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, disciplines are as widely varied as people are. You know what I mean? So as far as in one area, yeah, it's a coin toss, man. You have no idea. I don't think anybody really would know how common that is. You definitely know that it's something that people can do, because even Izzy had mentioned that. But as far as like how many people have that ability, your sire had kind of given you a little bit of training, so it's possible that you might even know that it's more common for like Tremere to have that type of ability. Things like that. People that are specifically interested in the workings of blood, or
Yeah.
identifying
Well,
humors and things like that. So,
the three common
yeah.
ones that come to mind are Tremere, Alcavian, and Toreador. So it's where, I guess
Yeah.
the biggest thing is, Marina, when you're around various folks that are of your particular ilk, which is something that some clans do, they do congregate, uh, you may have someone that'll give you a firm grip on your shoulder. Best of luck.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair point.
that's about all I can.
I'll deal with it when it comes. But either way, I think this has to be sorted out so we don't have a lot of questions.
Can you like send him an email?
That's probably a good
Good.
start.
I can.
That's but
I mean,
Whoa.
do it all online so you don't have to see the guy.
I mean, we could do
Just
that. I
email
mean,
him like he's
we could
dead.
go Zoom.
So just for the records,
I
the
like
guy's
that.
name, I'm gonna directly steal it from our D&D campaign. Is Saul Winters, and Saul Winters is
Better call Saul.
a mid-level consultant at a lawyer firm, kind of deal, or mid-level lawyer, essentially, I guess is what I'm saying. And he primarily deals with estates and property affairs, things like that. Mostly his job is just to handle things like this. In the case of someone's death, they deal with the will, etc. At least a quick Google search will show you the guy's information. As far as that goes, and he does have like a LinkedIn, you know what I mean. He has a web page that says Saul Winters, Winters and Pride, etc. Firm. But as far as whether he is kindred, whether he is aware of kindred, you have no idea until you talk to the guy.
Do we think anyone can fake a certificate of death with our kind of in our group here?
I can do that. Just don't know why.
Because if he is a human and he is dead, and they're going to ask for evidence for, I mean, I just call him and say, yeah, he's dead. He's not gonna be like, okay, yeah, here's all the stuff. He's gonna want something to be like, okay, what's the proof that he's dead?
Yeah.
And if we have a certificate of his death, it probably will prove that he's dead.
Yeah, it's kind of a shot in the dark at this point as to whether or not the lawyer knows or doesn't know about kindred society, but the general assumption would probably be that if you showed up with a death certificate saying, hey, this guy died, I know that you handled his financial affairs, what comes next, that he should in theory respond with a regular answer. Now, as if the guy ends up knowing more about Anton's business, that's a different story. But yeah, it's a good place to start. As far as that goes.
And yeah, we'll put it together.
Yeah. So Jamal, how do you want to do this? You want to just like sit down at a computer real quick, throw together something, cut and paste, and if so, you said you were capable of doing it. I know you kind of have some low-level crime stuff that you said you'd kind of gotten invested with at one point.
No, I have mask level 3.
There you go. Mask level 3. Okay.
I'm a cobbler.
Gotcha. So that is perfect. I'm not even going to make you roll for it in that case. So yeah, you're quickly and easily able to put one of these together. So yeah, you are able to put together a relatively quick and easy death certificate. What is the cause of death that you list? Hit by bus, gang shooting gone wrong, old age.
That's up to her.
Right, what would you choose?
I would say if the best way that we could probably do it would be if we want to go with the Hunter story, we could say it's some sort of gang involved crime. And if he does end up knowing more, then it could have been resolved down to that's what the cops believed was gang revolved. And it was actually hunters.
There's only like 3 causes of death. I don't need to know too many of the details, just which one.
Probably probably murder. I mean, probably the best way to do it. If it's by gang violence.
Yeah, so as far as your death certificate, just because I know this isn't something that people typically have handled, I've handled too many of them in my day.
That's kind of what I was saying.
We'll
Yeah.
say cause of death would say something
Good
more or
job.
less like, you know what I mean, gunshot wound. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, there's
try,
only like four choices:
right, trauma
cardiac
from
arrest,
exactly.
cardiac arrest, GSW. It has to just be how the body stopped functioning. That's all it
Yeah,
says.
yeah,
GSW.
yeah. Yep, that is exactly it. Gunshot wound, and
Loss of
even if you,
blood due to GSW.
yep, and if you want to, since you do have the cobbler ability, if you wanted to put together a fake, kind of either police
Medical
report
exam.
or news article, yeah, medical exam, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like a police report or medical exam. Yeah, you could easily do that as well. Kind of showing that he was at the wrong place at the wrong time and got caught up in a gang situation, and was shot or maybe even mugged. It's not real clear. The medical exam doesn't cover specific details, but you definitely have a now freshly made death certificate that looks 100% authentic, as well as a medical exam report that says that he had died from a gunshot wound due to gang related activity. There's just like a quick side note on it, but you can explain the rest of that as far as that goes when you guys decide to deal with him. But yeah, whenever you want to deal with that, just let me know. But yeah, you guys got a lot of things going on your plate right now as far as that goes. You were asked by the Baron to look into the previous gang related incident that happened outside of her establishment because that guy was dominated. She wanted to know more, and she gave you an address and location, said if you could check in on it. You guys know that someone has been watching Terra, though you have very little information to go on as far as tracking that person, though it may somehow be related. I think you guys had decided that. Let's see, you have Saul Winters to deal with, who is your, lawyer who handles death and estate and financial holdings essentially. As for all the businesses, what else? Anything else? You got the blueprints as far as that goes. You did, thanks to Snowcone's premonition, you were able to find out that was tied possibly to the police officer that you had seen the night you guys interacted with the pit fiends or pit fighters. I believe there was even a name, Detective Ramirez. Yeah, Detective Ramirez was the name of that guy. That officer that you had dealt with that night. So you guys got a lot on your plate as far as that goes. Hell, I mean, you can even go as far as back as like there was what was her name? Melanie, the group activist that had started the LA Cares project. You know what I mean? That started this whole event, as it were. So yeah, you got a lot of different things on your plate. It's just really up to you as to which one you think is most important now.
Uh, Up to you. I mean, we could finish this out real quick and then go do whatever we need.
Yeah,
I
let's finish
don't.
what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be. Yeah, it shouldn't be too long with him. So I think let's get an email sent out to him and see if we can get in contact with him.
All right. So
So
you
yeah, we're gonna.
email the information.
Yeah, say this state. He has died and like, the basic sort of
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have a direct email line that was used because Anton Petrov, your sire, being a businessman, he had direct contact with his lawyer and financial director essentially. Uh, Within 30 minutes, you receive a response that just says, "I am very sorry for your loss. It is unfortunate to hear of Anton's passing. I will set the affairs at order as requested by his estate and will." And that's literally all the email says. Yeah, I guess at the very bottom it would say, "Thank you for contacting me.
Yeah.
If we need any further information, I will reach out to you um, at my earliest convenience."
All right.
But yeah,
Did you
seems
send
to
it from
all
his own email?
seems to have been real easy.
Oh,
I assume that you probably sent it from your own personal email, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that would probably make a little bit more sense. But yeah, what is it literally like marina.woods or what?
Probably something. Yeah, probably something just really
Just
basic like that.
like
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or like he got a really random ass, email address like faded
Yeah.
sunflower at Yahoo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
so
huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
yeah,
yeah,
just
you directly emailed him from a personal email address explaining. I assume that you explained this is Marina.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
a brief summary of like this is like it's me. Here's like the stuff that was given to pass on to you to ask about the will and all this, all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep. You receive a simple email back that says thank you. It seems like a very standardized email that you would receive in this type of situation. It says the affairs will be handled as necessary. I will contact you when it comes time to sign papers. But otherwise, leave it to me. Everything is taken care of. I apologize for your loss. Which may
Alright.
seem actually a bit funny to you, considering, but
Yeah.
yep, it seemed very simple as far as that goes. Now, as to whether or not, there's anything more to that later, we'll see.
We'll see.
Train. Yeah, I was supposed to say, speaking of trains,
Choo-choo.
Numar, quit sending thumbs
Oh,
up
just like an
emotes.
automatic reply email.
Yeah, that's the email or notification for some reason. It's a train whistle. Yeah, but where do you guys plan to head next? So you got all this shit on your plate. You've got a lot of stuff to deal with, and more rumors pouring in every day. Where do you guys want to head next?
I
We're at 12
guess.
o'clock now, so it's really just deciding where next week's session's going to go. But if you have anything in mind, it'd be good to know.
I guess probably what the Baron needs us to do.
It's up
Which
to you.
is
The
Yeah.
The gang activity.
Yeah, the Baron had
yeah,
asked
with
you.
Those specific members, I guess, more than anything.
steel hand guy.
Oh, so
Yeah, I
Damien.
think Steele might have info.
Yeah, Damien
Hmm.
Steele was a
Might be a
suggestion that was
long-range
made
plan.
earlier. Damien Steele is a Ventru, or at least, so, from what you are to understand, he is a Ventru that has also been given the title of landlord within West LA in a different district, but it is close to gangland territory. The same location, actually, so the location that Izzy gave you, very specifically. Had it like a neighborhood listed, which is within Damien's territory. Damon Steele's territory. So he would definitely be a good source of information if you wanted to start there, to get an idea as to how to track down this specific gang member. But then you have the actual process of going into gangland and trying to extract him, or at least extract information from him. Oh, we lost somebody.
Lost one.
Drive.
Oh, yeah. Let me see here.
Man down, man.
Pop up in staging. He'll be right back. Must have just been an accident.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Lost connection or something. He'll be right back.
exactly. Either way, we're gonna go ahead and close this
There he
thing
is.
down. Anyway, there we go. Hey, we got him. As soon as he
Yeah,
pops his camera on, everybody will go back to the right place. No worries.
Yeah, my
Even a
internet
seat form.
died. And
Oh no, I'm Bart now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think next week we're gonna try and do Zoom instead of Discord. I like having it all in one, but it will prevent that problem. So with Zoom, you can kind of put everybody in the order you choose. But yeah, as soon as he turns his camera back on, it'll put everybody back where they belong. There it goes, just like that. But it is 12 o'clock, so this is a great place for us to stop with the intention that we are going to go visit with Damien Steele next week, most likely, in case things change between now and then, to try and track down a gang member that they had seen or actually prevented from shooting a rival gang member that may or may not be associated with the events that unfolded at the beginning of this chronicle. So here on episode 10, we double back to the beginning of episode 1. All things come full circle, so to speak, as we dive back into that. But you guys will have an interesting week next week as you go into gangland territory and try and find a specific gang member and get him to give you information that he probably doesn't want to share. Should be easy. Piece of cake. But to make that even more interesting, in case you guys want to, keep in mind that if you head to the Ko-Fi shop, you can add rumors or evidence to those rumors. So if anybody wants to add cool rumors about Damian Steele or this gang member that they had previously interacted with, name being, I had a name for this guy somewhere. Yep, don't have it in front of me. That's just my luck. So not a big deal. But yeah, you guys can, deal with that next week. But yeah, if you guys want to, head over to the Ko-Fi shop and add more rumors about it. Add rumors about the gang situation and what it's going to be like there. Add rumors about what the lawyer might be doing. Any of this stuff. So that's the greatest part about the rumor system, the way that it works, is that any of the things that we mention or anything that you can think of, you guys can add in the form of a rumor, like, oh yeah, I overheard that lawyer works specifically with Kindred and probably knows more than he's leading on to. Or I heard a rumor that gang member is, also, in a circle that has vampires, or it doesn't, or, whatever you want to add. And the more evidence that gets added, the more rumors that get added, the crazier it gets for our Kindred. You guys have complete narrative control. And keep in mind that whether you're watching this now or if you're catching this on our YouTube later, you can still head to the Ko-Fi shop and add those things at any point in time. I still receive those messages. I will contact you back and we'll make sure to message, and all those things to get your rumor added into the game. So whether you're watching it live now, it is November the 2nd of 2023, or whether you're watching it 2 months from now, we'll still be rolling this game, I'm sure. So feel free to jump in and add those rumors. Like I said, it helps drive the stream. It helps keeps us, with bandwidth and electricity to keep the game running, keep this game going, guys. That's completely up to you guys to keep it running, and I appreciate you guys that help. But we're going to go ahead and close out there. We'll go ahead and do our final wishes, all that good stuff. Clark, any last minute thoughts before we leave?
No, good session.
Cool,
Had a
cool,
good time. Yeah, no, it was good.
Awesome stuff, man. All right. What about you, Bart? Anything else on the way out the door?
Not much. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, chat. Thank you, my fellow players. Looking forward to next week.
As am I. All right. You guys always make it the left-hand side of the left-hand side of the screen always makes it really easy on me. But let's head over to the right side. So we'll start with Jive Man, actually, because you're the one that's going to have to post your own link. I keep meaning to copy it down. I still haven't done it. But if you want to tell everybody what you do and shout out your content stuff, if you want to, go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. So, if any of you don't know, I am Jive and I do graphic design full time. I've been doing this for over 10 years. And if you want to support me and see some of the work I have, you can find me on Fiverr. And if you want to see some of the work I've been doing, I'll be posting something related to Rumors of the Dead. It's a work in progress project, but it is some concept work I've been thinking about for this group in general. So you can find that on my Twitter, which I'll post in the Discord, which, by the way, if you're not following our Discord, what are you doing? Go follow us there.
Love the Discord plug. Right there is a link to our Discord. There is very specifically, if you look for fan content, there is a fan section where you'll find fan art, fan videos, fan music. If you guys want to do fan art, fan music, any of that stuff, you can post it there and we all get to see it and enjoy it. You know what I mean? But also at the bottom of that section, there is one that says self-promotion. And that is where these guys will post their stuff. Oh, for some reason, did it go through there?
Oh, shoot, got deleted.
Look to go. I got it. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. You are, hold on a second. probably misspelled this, but there you go. Now it'll go through. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why I deleted it. You're a VIP, so you should have access to all that stuff. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. But yeah, there's Job Man stuff. And again, like check out that self-promotion tab. It's in the fan section of our Discord. You'll find all of these guys' links to all their cool stuff. If you have anything that you want to promote and you're part of our group, feel free to throw it in there. I like to help other content creators, other people that are doing things in the world, whether it's an Etsy store, a Fiverr, or graphic design, or streaming, any of the above. Throw it in there. Share your content that you're doing as well. You know what I mean? We want to know what you guys are working on in the community so that we can help better all of our communities. That being said, right there's his Fiverr link. I'm actually going to copy it this time so I don't ever have to ask you for that again. Next time I'll have it on hand. And Jackal, if you want to go ahead and do your thing, I can do yours with a shout out.
Yes. I'm the Jackal. I stream both here on Twitch for my D&D content, which hopefully is going to be up soon with these one-shots. And also I stream just normal games and other stuff I randomly do over on Kick, and I try to post, shorts, little short clips, and the VODs over on my YouTube when I get the chance. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep, it did the same thing for me too.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh
I
my
haven't
God,
used
I
the
pressed link.
interesting part is I haven't used Nightbot in a very long time. I don't know why it's doing it, but right there it is. There is the Jackal Gaming on Kick. I also gave a shout out. Yeah, awesome.
Oh, that one worked.
Okay.
The YouTube worked, but
yeah, that one went through. God knows, man. I'll have to go and deal with that. But anyway, there's
That's
the
weird.
Jackal's content, his YouTube, his Kick, all that stuff. Check him out. Like I said, streamers helping streamers, guys. Like, we're all content creators that are trying to grow in this industry. You guys help us do that. So supporting, following, sharing, all these things are super huge. Like, that. This is what helps us create the content that we want to be able to make for you guys. So please do that. Last but most certainly not least, Numar Esnis, or Numerousness, as he's known on the other side of the world. You know what I mean? If you want to go ahead and do your outro, I'll go ahead and give you a shout out as well.
All right. I am Numerousness. When I'm not participating in these RP games and other stuff with Tabletop Down, I am on my own channel, which is just Numerousness on Twitch.
Yeah, 44
Thursday,
seconds.
Saturday streamer.
I'll be able to post
And,
it. 44 seconds. Yeah, I was gonna say, man. Me and
do I need to have
Numerous.
my outro?
Yeah, no worries. I will say the shout out thing. You got to put a minute between it. Yeah, Goody,
Yes.
got you. Thank you. So yeah,
Okay,
for some reason it makes you wait a minute before you can do another one. But let's see here. There it is. Shout out for Numerousness. But yeah, me and him have been playing some games on Saturdays for a couple of weeks, where we've been playing some Baldur's Gate. It's been a ton of fun. This weekend may or may not be complicated. Stick around, guys. After the stream, I got something to ask you about it. We'll talk about that in Discord. But this weekend might get messed up as far as that goes. But either way, he does some really cool content over there. He's been playing some really cool games. Go over, give him a follow, give him a shout out, all that cool stuff. That's really cool to do. Does anyone in the chat have a vampire game? Is anyone else streaming vampire right
Copycat.
now? Copycat, perfect. That is great. So we will raid out to Copycat. If somebody could also give me a what do you call that? Like a raid message, you know what I mean? Just something to the effect of, hey, raid from Tabletop Down community. So let's see. Copycat presents. All right, got that.
You got that vampire emo.
Copy. Yeah, give me 2 seconds here while I put one together for you. We got this covered. So yeah, is that the only vampire remote that we got left? Oh no. We're gonna have to add some more of those.
Where's your hamster?
Yeah, I changed a few of these recently. So yeah, we got rid of the Vampster. I loved him. I really did.
vamps.
But nobody was using them, so I ended up getting rid of them. But let's see. Let's see. Second. I'll give you guys a read message. Up, down.
How's everybody?
Perfect. Right there you go. So you guys can just copy and paste that directly in once we do raid over there. And that'll give them, let them know who's showing some love. Coffee Cat has been super nice. They've given us some raids. They help bring some of their community to us, so we want to bring some of our community to them. And they actually do a very good game. So check it out. You know what I mean? Enjoy it while you're there. And make sure to hang around. If you guys do have things to do, I know you've been watching a 4-hour stream. Please leave a window open. Turns out if you mute a stream, it does not count as a view. So mute the tab, not the stream. As far as that goes, if you right click at the top right or at the top of your Google tab or whatever you're in and just hit mute window, or mute tab, it'll do it for you.
That's
But
a
anyway,
cool workaround.
right. I mean, I prefer you actually, watch their stuff, but I know that you just watched a 4-hour stream. If you have other things to do, leave a window open, throw it up there for them. It does go a long way to helping other, people get, views show as people are watching. The more views a person has, the more likely other people are to see it because it raised you on the list. It's just part of the algorithm, you know what I mean? Like, it's silly we have to go around do these workarounds, but it helps content creators make better content. But thank you guys so much for everything that you did. Thank you, players. You guys are fucking amazing. I'm so lucky to have you guys as players, and always happy to have you here every week. But we will see you next week. Hang tight. We're going to go ahead and throw that raid out that way. And I'll see you guys on Friday for Dungeons and Dragons Descent into Avernus, our Baldur's Gate game. Make sure to be there on Friday. If you guys are interested in Table Talk, tomorrow night I'm going to be doing a version of Table Talk in which we actually just talk about tabletop games, board games, role-playing games, all the stuff. It's going to be a 4-hour chat session. You can ask your questions. We may or may not have like people that come in with us, so please check it out. It'll be something new that I'm trying out, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, hang tight, and we're going to raid out, guys. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Sweet. Well, everyone.